Oh, that's fantastic. But so what? Are you like playing Pirate Warriors?
No, I've recorded like a bit before just for this stream so that we have something in the background while we're talking.
Ah, I see.
Not sure if we should have the sound of this going on or should have another background theme going on while putting this on silent, but we'll see what we'll do.
I don't know. It's like for now, I just feel like it's fine if all of it is coming fine.
By the way, this is actually where I finished One Piece Pirate Warriors 3. Otherwise, it would be a longer video.
Really?
Yeah, I actually finished it. You know how close I am to the Platinum Trophy? It's ridiculous.
Jeez.
I just need to grind.
Gee, that's gonna be the fucking next one. Man, I like watched some fucking guy named like It's a Gundam, right? Who also had this whole thing going on with like with his avatar and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just moves around the whole fucking screen, walking and dancing at times, laughing
Yeah,
his ass off about about the Twitch thoughts.
maybe one day. Maybe one day. Anyway,
Well, that's very nice.
welcome everyone to the One Piece celebration discussion retrospective thingy. We are here to discuss our time with One Piece and why we love it so much. I guess for some people I hate it so much, but fuck them.
We're not one of those people, so we won't hear
No,
that perspective.
no. So, One Piece, man. When it comes to my history with One Piece, it's like One Piece is basically what made me into anime. Because before One Piece, I liked anime, but I didn't really look for like, oh man, the latest show to watch. Oh yeah, no, I was pretty. It was not just anime, but just in general. I was kind of like, oh my, oh no, new thing, new thing. I'm scared of new thing. No new thing, bad. Go away, new thing. I only like old thing. So before that, I was watching I was a big Dragon Ball Z fan, and I watched some other shows. But at some point, I got really, I guess, depressed. I guess I don't know. This was at the time where I was like, man, I don't know how to fucking do with my life. Fuck this shit. And I was very unmotivated for a lot of things, and I guess I still am. But back then, it was pretty bad. But then I thought to myself, you know what? When I was able to obsess over Dragon Ball Z, I had more motivation to do things. Maybe I should find something else to obsess over, like something new. And at some point, I saw this crossover special with One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, and Tokiro, was it?
The fucking show and food show
Yes, that's
where the
that
guy
show.
fights like a guy fights like utensils.
Yep, never watched that one.
Oh,
I heard the
yeah.
anime was pretty mad, and manga's where it's at. That's what I've heard. But anyway, I have heard about One Piece, and now I saw like Luffy in action and everything. I say Luffy because well, all the characters are there; they don't really do too much, The yeah. Anyway, they didn't do much in that special, but it made me interested, especially because I've heard from a lot of people that it's good. I don't really hear many people complaining about it like they do with Bleach and Naruto, so I was like, well, maybe I should just try it out. I also just really needed something new to obsess over. That's really the biggest point. So I went to it was called watchOnePiece.com, that old site with low quality. But
One
with
Piece,
yeah,
One Piece ships, but hey, it was a good fucking database for all the One Piece episodes.
it was at least. So I knew about the Forked dub before I watched One Piece, though. Like I knew about how bad the dub was. Forked. That's actually my other first knowledge about One Piece. I didn't know anything else, but besides that, oh man, the Forked dub was really bad. It was funny how bad it was. But I genuinely wanted to give One Piece a shot. So I looked at the episode count, 626 episodes at the time. I was like, yep, okay, challenge accepted, motherfucker. Now, in reality, though, I was like, well, if this is going to be like because obviously I didn't watch a lot of anime at the time. Like what most people warned me about shonens, where it just becomes the same thing every like 200 episodes. If it was gonna be like that, it was gonna stop at some point, right?
Yeah.
It was not like that, so I was 600 episodes. Oy, oy, oy. But yeah, so I started One Piece then, and I was interested at first, the first thing I got was like with the main characters with Luffy, of course, is that at first he did this thing where like a bunch of people changed behind him. It's like, man, that is not fair. And then he like turns around and goes, just kidding, fuck you. And then they kill and beats them all up. Like I don't know, I like that part. It made me think, well, this might actually be interesting. It's the main character.
It was the Usopp arc, right? Where they're like.
No, that was in the beginning. It was the first episode.
Was that the first episode?
Yeah, and I kept getting more interesting as things went along. You know, you get more characters and you get more interactions. But you know, like the show itself is pretty funny. But I think for me, what really made One Piece, what made me really like One Piece was the Baratie arc. That's where things really, really got interesting. You know, like with villains with villains appearing, or like especially with Mihawk coming in and just going, "Yes, I'm the strongest swordsman, motherfucker. Hey, what's up?" I didn't see that one coming at all. Like, can you just imagine like the strongest person just suddenly showing up, and you'll never like see him fight again in like 300 episodes?
You know what it was? It's like that's like the some sort of rule in shonen where you just show the power level and like how high your main characters can go basically. But you know they're not gonna start off that way. No, they're gonna fight that person and lose horribly.
But you know, most shonen, at least that's like strong character appears like is like a major character for like a whole arc or something, or like appears in the next arc, or you know the shonen character works to like beat this character in like the next arc or something like that. But no, this motherfucker here just shows up, fucks shit up, says, "Hey, come at me, bro, at Zoro," and then leaves for like 600 episodes.
I know, right? I think that's the craziest part. It's just strong people fucking exist, and you're not gonna surpass them, maybe for a very long time.
Right? Like, it actually takes a lot of work and dedication. Like, you can't actually train for 3 days and then they're like, "Yep, okay, this is the main villain that has lived for 1,000 years is fucked now." I guess that's those are all the cool things about One Piece, really. It's just, it is very shonen still. It's very much like a shonen still, but it feels more, how should I say? Yeah.
Realistic. I think
oddly realistic. The show itself looks and like those things, it's so unrealistic, but at the same time, its story feels more real, I guess. It feels more logical, basically, at some, like, is all I have to say about it. There's also a lot of foreshadowing and everything as well. But you know what really made me a fan of One Piece, though? It was the Arlong Park arc. Because, like, Baratie arc, what I liked about was the world building, and especially also the fight with Luffy versus Don Krieg was really fucking cool. And especially it made me respect the main character more, like, he actually just fucking punches through the fucking spiked cape, not giving a fuck about the damage. Like, what the fuck, man? And most shonen characters do that lately, yes, but like at the time it was like, my fucking god, I never saw that before. Like, who the fuck? And it's like, if someone just comes at you with a spiked shield, you're not gonna punch through it, are you?
No.
Water
beats, of course, but Luffy was a special case.
Yeah, Luffy's determined, and I like that about him. But the Arlong Park, man, was really what made me a fan. Just the whole story, the whole setup, all the fights, and the character having some importance to the story as well is what really made me think this anime is really good as well. Because every character in One Piece is important. Even if they're not important in fights, they are important to the story, you know? Like, they wouldn't go anywhere without Nami, you know?
Mm-hmm.
For example. Usopp is a great sniper, you know? He didn't fight at all in his lobbies, but man, he fucking sniped where we needed him to.
Yeah. And he had his moments just as a character that were absolutely useful.
Right? Like, every character, I think, is useful, even if they're not fighting, you know? That's what makes them great. That's what makes One Piece really good, I think. Compared to, like, most shonen, it's like, yeah, this is the main character show now. Especially after a certain amount of time.
Or in the case of Dragon Ball Z, this is the Sage show now.
This is the Goku show. Or, you know, Digimon Adventures, the Matt and Tai show.
Yeah, it really was that case. It's like, once the fucking Ultimate forms came out, it was like, yeah, no, it was not the Ultimates, the Mega forms came out. It was like, yeah.
You see, you're talking about the original show, I'm talking about the remake. Okay, so everyone everyone does things, sure. But a lot of the show is just, okay, so we're gonna give Matt and Tai, like, the most awesome animations for evolutions, and the rest is just the generic shit, fuck them.
Really, no, that fucking sucks. Even though those guys were pretty important too for some of the things.
Right? And they still do important things, and it's like, why not just give them cool animations? What the fuck, man?
I give him the chef.
Right? But we're not talking about that. We're talking about One Piece. And I don't know when it was, but I'm pretty sure it was about like Little, what was it, Little Green? Little Garden? Little Garden, where I was talking to you about One Piece or something like that at school. Where I was like, hey, we like shows with like characters that just don't give a fuck, right? So there's this swordman in One Piece that, like, he's stuck in his candle thing, and he's slowly turning to like wax. Basically, he's basically dying, and he says, "Well, if I'm gonna like be, if I'm gonna be stuck forever as a statue, I might as well just make a cool pose,
Alright. Fucking little garden. It's like the thing is, I don't remember exactly what you told me in terms of introducing me One Piece, but I do remember that you were the one. Like I was already introduced to like anime as a whole, right? Back when I
Mm-hmm.
was younger, but it was basically meeting up with you was which gave me the realization. Wait a second, I can look this shit up on the internet.
Yeah,
How
basically.
I basically like watched the whole everything Dragon Ball Z related, or almost, because I like
Yeah,
dropped GT at the end.
yeah. Honestly, I still think GT is watchable. Just not the first. The first arc is very boring. Do not watch the
Yeah,
first arc.
I just said, after I saw like the fucking final fight between, like, what was it, Dark Shenron,
Mm-hmm.
right? I was like,
Mega Shenron.
and then I made like the whole adventure to it. When the Black Star Dragon Balls went haywire, I just didn't care anymore. Just dropped the show before I could even go to that final fight, basically.
Ah.
So, but after Dragon Ball Z, it's like you then gave me like a fucking recommendation of One Piece, and it's like, that's where I
Yeah.
started, but I don't think I'm gonna continue until you're done with your shit. Your talk.
Oh, I mean, the history is almost done. I kept watching and watching, and like when I was finished, I was like, yeah, this was really good. But I'm still in Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Z is my favorite show. Yeah. But then I watched One Piece like 2 more times in the same year. So I'm like, yeah, what? I was in denial. Yes, One Piece is amazing. It's the best shit I've ever seen. Holy shit, man! And it made me more willing to try new things because if trying a new thing made me so happy with One Piece, then I'm pretty sure there's a lot more anime that I can watch as well that will make me feel good or feel happy or something like
It's
that. Or
like it's
destroy my
so,
soul. That's also
yeah.
possible.
It's like I was like, so you were so open to it. Like, we were both becoming pretty open to like new shit and all that. That I
Mm-hmm.
like somehow it made you also like show find when I recommended you, like, what was it called, No Game No Life 2 afterwards, because
Yeah.
I heard from
Actually,
mouth that
that's
was
that's a
really
bit
good.
more. That's actually there's a bit more to that before No Game No Life. But let's talk about it later. Now let's talk about you. What's
No,
your history with One Piece?
honestly, I don't think we're gonna talk about anything else but One Piece for the rest of this fucking thing anyway.
And
But
yeah,
in any case, though, it's like I said, you made me introduce to realize. Wait a second, I can go on the internet and watch all the other stuff, and then you recommended me One Piece afterwards, telling me that was a fucking fun show.
mm-hmm.
And I started watching it. I was like, yeah, it's a fun show. It's like I won't like the first episode was pretty fun, but it was like, whatever. And then for me, it was the Baratie arc. Really was that arc where I too realized, man, this show's fucking great. This shit,
Right.
I want to watch more of it. I wasn't really like the Nami, the Arlong Park arc was great, absolutely was, but it wasn't the arc that sold me. It was already by Baratie that I was sold. It's the whole
Right.
thing, because I like the fucking fight against the guy, against the big boss, and I also loved like the whole thing with Sanji and how he's like gonna leave his nest and shit, and how
Right.
even though everybody acted like a jackass, they actually really love him, but they're all tsunderes and shit. All
Basically.
these all these kind of things. It's like it was where I was like basically, yeah, and then the whole moment where
Now
Zoro was like.
it was more like Sanji was it soon, so they have to out soon him.
And then there was the whole part of Zoro where you thought, man, this guy is so fucking badass and shit. And then he like fucking got his ass so hard, so heavily beaten that he just fucking started crying about it.
Right.
It really didn't feel like that was for me the selling point. Then the Arlo part was just wow, perfect, perfect.
Perfect.
And then
Perfection.
I just watched the rest of it basically. Right now though, even though we dropped like basically the anime because we said fuck this animation
Yeah.
quality get better.
Well, the animation quality is better now. It's still the fucking. The biggest problem for me was always
The padding.
the pacing. The pacing is Like it was too slow. It's like one chapter per episode. Sometimes even half a chapter per episode now. It's
Yeah,
like my god.
I couldn't be bothered. So yeah, then we went over to the manga, and even though I'm not up to date with the fucking manga, I do want to read it at some point. It's just basically saving up all the chapters for one big fucking reading session.
Ah, Naruhodo, Naruhodo. For myself,
So,
I'm up to date with the manga. My
for the
god.
people wondering, I'm at the Wano arc, and
Hmm.
I was like basically I stopped when once the big plan began, and then they started telling the backstory of Odin.
Right.
I said,
Yeah.
stop there.
I'm just saying, you're not ready for this. Or it's
There's a
fucking
lot of shit
crazy.
I'm gonna be reading.
Things have gotten really fucking crazy, man. Kaido is a
Honestly,
fucking Gyarados. Can you believe it?
I know, right? It's like probably it's like I'm gonna probably like start over from like the waterfall climbing and then start from there again.
Ah,
Just
like
gonna have
read
just
the
gonna
whole arc.
absorb everything again, basically.
That's a good idea. So, where were we? Yeah.
So
So after,
basically,
yeah.
variety. Or what do you want to do? It's like start
No,
from
no,
every
no.
fucking
I
arc,
thought
or do?
I thought you were done. I didn't know you were.
Well, I'm just gonna ask. It's like we're gonna continue with this whole thing, right? So what
All
shall we
right.
do? Just go arc
I
from
wanna
arc. What do you plan?
I wanna talk about what effect One Piece has had on us after we were done watching it. To be honest, this is
No.
like basically me. I got into anime because of it more so, and you started recommending me more shows. And I know the first two, like, there were no what was it? You first recommended me Campione or something like that.
Yes, I think
It's
I
like,
did.
yeah, this is bullshit, but it's our kind of bullshit. It's like, okay.
And yeah, it's honestly, it's basically the Compiona basically is somehow defined to like anime taste. We like tits, we like violence, we like harem shows,
I
even though
like
that.
I like the fact that of the first you were like this like nah, I hate fan service because it gives people religion, dude, and I like yeah
No, I,
titty titty.
yes. Now I'm not unapologetic. Yes, I like titties. Of
I'm
men like titties. I'm not like ashamed of it.
the titty expert. Yeah, it's the first harem show I watched, and I had fun watching it. But then there were two more shows you recommended me, and it was like, what was it? It was No Game in Life. There was another show.
I just can't remember the other ones. It's like we done through a lot of fucking shows,
What's the?
recommending and shit.
Yeah, I don't
It's like
know.
you were the one who recommended me Gintama, and I do remember recommending you JoJo as one of the other things.
And now I think when it comes to JoJo, I think we
That was
both watched
far
Stardust.
later.
No, we watched Stardust Crusader together, like the first
Yeah,
like few episodes or something.
something like that. We
Yeah,
were really fucking close to it. I remember like I remember this episode, like the final episode where Jotaro started like smiling, right? At the end of Stardust Crusader. I was like watching that scene, and you were like, "God damn it, Jotaro can smile!" And I was like, "Wow, this guy. Are we watching at the same time or something?"
yeah, we were watching at the same time. Ah man, One Piece also led me to my other favorite anime, No Game No Life. So regardless of what happens, I One Piece is always an important thing in my heart. It also made me, how should I say? It made me more motivated to do certain things. It made me really want to. I don't know. It gave me more of an energy or something. Like, oh man, yes, let's do shit. Wow. I don't know. It has such a positive message of like follow your dreams and never give up kind of thing, but done in such a cool way that made me more interested in stuff to do things. After that, I just read the manga like a few years later, and first was the colored edition, and obviously that edition it wasn't like the complete thing, so I'm just reading that good old black and white manga style. Wow.
I like that still.
It's fine, but it's like, man, I like when I see color when it's in color, I can see like details more easily. That's just me though.
No, I don't blame you. It is true, but I do. I just something so classic about it that I just love the black and white ish
I I
thing
can
going on.
understand that as well, and there's some really good. So I mean, the art in One Piece is really good as well. It's just uh,
Oh man, it's like fucking One Punch Man is a beautiful example. It's black and
oh yeah,
white, and the fucking who was it? Murata, fucking amazing artist with one next to him. They're doing it together, right? Fucking amazing.
Yeah, they work together on like One Punch Man, like one does the story and Murata. I mean, one has already has the original web manga, but you know, Murata has
Yeah,
the
I read that one first before I read like the one that which you did with Murata.
other.
It's like you know it's no joke. It's a night and day thing, like in quality, in art quality. But man, and there's some
So,
changes going on too.
oh yeah. So basically, next to that, I finished reading the manga. You know, at some point, I don't really know what more was, what else there was. So I'm just gonna, let's just start talking about like what we think of One Piece and go this arc from arc and such. I guess.
Mm.
Yeah. Unless you have something else to say about the
No,
effects that it has on you.
actually, no. In the case of any effects, it's basically you know the way it's the gateway to watching more anime, basically for me
Yeah. It's
as
the
well. It's like
gateway to reap them.
exactly. Just I watched a lot of anime afterwards when I was younger. A lot of them. Just fucking Jesse even recommended me like fucking High School DxD as one of them too. Anyhow, this
Did I
fucking shit.
recommend it to you? Oh.
No, you told me it's like NS. Watch the show. They say that the plot is good even though it has tits and all this fucking jokey stuff.
Ah.
You
That's
were
the
the one
plot.
who.
There's a really good plot and backstory if you get my catch my drift.
Yeah, it's like I swear, even the women watch it for the plot, and it's like all these little jokes. But you know, you were the one who told me like to watch this show, and I watched it. It's like a lot of fucking shows, but One
Yeah.
Piece. Besides that, it's like I just love the show. Nothing else. It's like it's a great show, and if I were to sit down and read the rest of it, I would probably do it. But it's like sometimes it might just also be a burnout and something. Who knows?
I suppose.
In any case,
So
great.
anyway, let's we begin about arc
Yeah.
for arc. Yeah, like we're gonna start with the first arc, of course, which is the Romance Down arc, because you know we have to you know the Romance Down arc is like you know until you know before the Buggy arc. Let's also include Shank, like Luffy's backstory in it, because that's actually the first chapter, which they made episode 4 instead. I don't know why, but okay.
Roman's Dawn arc was basically your introduction to Cody as well, right?
Yeah,
Together
Kobe.
with that
Yeah,
fucking fat ass woman. What was his name? I
Alvida.
forgot. Alfida, yeah.
I remember everything.
You know, you remember the names. It's like I somehow forget them at times, but
To be fair, Alvida hasn't done anything in like,
how many years?
yeah.
It's like ever since the Marine Four talk, we never seen her again, basically. In a sense.
You're right. Not even we get to see Buggy again, who's now a Shichibukai. I can't believe it.
It's like I think from what you told me, right? All we got to see from Buki is him fucking panicking because he's now getting hunted down by like the fucking Marines, right?
It is pretty fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
It's
But
like you finally got like this fucking wanker title, and then it's like no you don't, get fucked. And because you got this wanker title, we're now fucking you up. Oh no.
yeah, it's like this was the introduction to Alvida and fucking Cody
Right.
and Luffy. Of course.
And Hand X Morgan. Don't forget Hand X Morgan.
Ah, he was also a thing. I didn't.
I like how
actually didn't
man.
know
I like how the manga like it just started. I am great. It's like okay. Jeez.
who says that. The fucking witch from that one show from this year.
Now she says, "Ah yes, who's the most beautiful witch that has ever existed in the universe?" Oh, that's me. Just me. That's a different story though. Well, one thing that's also interesting with the introduction of like Luffy and Kobe is that you already see what kind of person like Luffy is, and that he is willing to die for his dream. Not only that, but that he doesn't like Kobe. He like straight up says he doesn't like him at all because because of him being a little bit of a coward and a crybaby. And that's already an interesting character trait, you know. Most shonen characters don't really care if you're like scared to shit. Don't really dislike you for it, but Luffy's like, nah, this guy, fuck him.
Oh look, are we watching like the fucking Kaido versus Luffy fight?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I'm gonna see fuck shit up.
Anyway, so
So anyway, one thing that's also interesting is Kobe as well. Kobe. He like gets character development pretty quickly too, you know, from coward to someone who at least like speaks his
His mind.
Yeah, someone that actually does what he believes in and shit, you know.
Right.
That already gave Luffy also the reason to actually help him out and fucking beat Alfida up, you know.
Hmm.
Then I went up to see Zoro, and you know the episode ended with like the fucking like Zoro is the scariest thing in the fucking universe, and then you have like the guitar and he fucking Zoro's face is in shot of the camera. Ah, the stock camera, the stock guitar sounds fucking great. I'm surprised they used it again in like the new world.
I'm trying to think which one was it exactly. There are a lot of stock noises that I fucking remember.
It was weird. One thing that was weird, one noise, was when like Dami was sitting somewhere and you hear this like sound, and it's like I heard that's the same sound I heard in Digital Masters Online when I did something. It's like what the fuck.
You mean like the Judy is like isn't that the noise that also like plays at what's it called in Dragon Ball Kakarot? This one it was a noise.
No, it's a different noise.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Yeah.
So anyway, before that, also what was weird in the anime was that they had like filler for Nami and such doing things in the background since Alvida, because that was not in the manga as well.
Was it also like there was no was there some manga confirmation that like Nami was at the same ship with Luffy or something or
I
what?
don't know. We only know that like Nami kind of stole the map for the Grand, like at least tried to steal the map for the Grand Line in the Navy's base or the Marines base. But Buggy took it, so it's like fuck. I heard Buggy is the most terrible pirate of the seas, and then it's like let's just catch it, let's just steal shit anyway. Fuck it. If you think about it though, with how close Nami was to like getting money, why would she go to the Grand Line?
I know, right?
Just thinking about it. Anyway, that's enough. So my most one interesting moment is kind of underrated in my opinion actually with that arc was when the Marines asked if Kobe was like with Luffy and everything, right? And Luffy
Hmm.
basically goes like, "Oh yeah, I know everything about this guy. This guy was on this like ship of like this pirate called Alfida with like this very big bitch." Like and he fucking worked for 3, and then like Kobe punches him in the face. But like what I like is just like Luffy's actually smart. Like he's dumb as fuck. Like holy shit, he's stupid. But he's smart enough to understand certain situations, how to solve them, right? Where he like
Right.
pretends to beat up like Kobe to make the Marines think that they're not friends,
Hmm.
so that Kobe could join the Marines. You know, it's like things like that. I think is what makes Luffy such a cool character, a good character compared to some shonen characters. It feels like he's dumb as fuck. If you were to ask him what 2 plus 2 is, he probably would say 5. But when it comes to certain situations, he knows how to deal with such things. He knows exactly what to say. He knows exactly what to do. I guess to a certain extent, you could just say that it's instinct. I guess. What do you think, Ennis?
No, it's like I never really. It's a scene that if you didn't mention it, I would really remember it happening.
Exactly. It's an underrated scene. It's an underrated scene. That's what I mean.
It is really it's a good point though. But now that you mentioned, it, I do remember that the Marines also noticed very quickly. Oh, wait a second, no, they are actually friends, but it's like Luffy's just being a good guy, and they realize why he
Yeah.
did it and shit.
So they sent him
So
off
it's
as
like
well.
it also shows that the Marines were like, wait a second, we're not stupid. We do know what's going on in here, but
What I like about One Piece as well, especially that you see later, is how you have like different sides, but all sides have like good and bad people. Like Marines, there are good Marines out there, but holy shit, a large portion of the Marines are fucking dicks.
it's
And then
basically
pirates too. Like a
a
lot of
fucking
pirates
gray
are
world.
evil, but then you have like good pirates too, like Luffy. You know?
Yeah, it's just a gray world, really. Everything
That's
is a shade of gray.
yeah. Like you have like you have peasants as well that are like they have good and bad people. You have like nobles as well, which are mostly bad people, but you still have some that are disgusted by the awfulness of the nobles and will do the opposite thing.
Like Don Flamingo's father, who said, "Let's be fucking better people," and didn't realize how fucking bad of a reputation he had.
Yeah.
or at
And you
least
can't really,
his side has basically.
right? And it also just shows that yes, people that were victims and all of it can be evil too because of it. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of shade grade coloring going on in the
That's
show.
very interesting, all of that stuff. And we'll see more of it as we go along, which is why, yeah. Like, but then we go to the Orange Town arc, right? Or did you want to say, did you have something else to say about the Orange Town arc?
No, nothing really. It's like I do. It's funny though how like Luffy decided to add Zoro. Remember Zoro's like fucking reputation before all of this was that he was a pirate hunter, and that
Right?
the only reason why he got locked up was because remember because for the people that may not remember, Zoro was of course locked up by like the fucking son of X-Men Morgan
Yeah.
because he what was the reason for it? Because I don't remember exactly. Like what was the
Zoro was
reason?
sitting at the bar, you know, and this stupid son just came in with a stupid pet dog who was about to fucking like devour a little girl, and Zoro was like, "Yeah, fuck you," and kicked the fucking dog to death.
Jeez. All right, so I do get that you did something good for the little girl, but fucking calm down with killing dogs.
It was one kick. It was just 2 weekends.
Ah, I guess so.
It was fucking giant though. It was like a fucking enormous beast.
I guess it was like the Soviet Union, giant fucking weaponry, but small legs to stand on.
Ah.
In any case, yeah, it's like Zoro was locked up, and but the whole thing though, but
No,
being known as a
he
fucking
did it.
pirate
He
hunter,
also did it on purpose, right? He like did it as a training session. He did it
it's like
to prove that he can live that long without food. Only like they tricked him and we're about to execute him anyway,
yeah,
despite the
fucking
deal they made.
yeah, really, what a fucking spoiled child that one was.
And he got
Oh,
character development too. Can you believe it?
yeah, I can actually because I've seen it. It's like, but it's the whole thing though. It's like you fucking see Zoro known as a fucking pirate hunter, and like so Luffy says, "Huh, pirate hunter. Let ask him to join the party as a pirate."
Listen, Luffy doesn't give a fuck what other people have to say about people's reputation.
You
It
know,
is simply.
you're right about that, but it's like it's funny when you think about it.
Well, Luffy has just decided that will be part of the crew, so therefore you're gonna be part of the crew, motherfucker. I will reject your rejection.
Imagine if you wanted Kobe to join this crew nowadays.
Now I know Kobe's like dreams,
Yeah, that's true.
but like Zoro's dream is to become the greatest swordsman in the world, and Luffy's like, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, and who does and who says a greatest swordman can't be a pirate? Oh wait,
Exactly.
one of them is already a pirate.
He is already up. But and what I find interesting as well is like what Zoro says to Luffy is like, if you ever interfere with my dream, I will kill you. But then later he like is willing to sacrifice his life, basically his dream as well, because if you're dead, you can't really fulfill your dream for Luffy.
Yeah.
It really just shows how much more of a bond they have gotten when the story goes along. That's something you see with a lot of characters join as well. Like some characters will not even call him by his name at first, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then as they go along with the crew, they start calling him by his name, or they start even calling him captain, or even like they'll even tell that he will become king of the pirates one day. Like they will declare his dream as well. Oh man, that was a cool moment with Nami as well, but you don't know about it. Nami was about to fucking die, right? And she could like
in Wano.
yeah, and
Wano.
what yeah, and like the villain was about to like basically go, well, if you tell me that Luffy will not become king of the pirates, I will let you live. And Nami at first was gonna lie, but then she's like, no, I can't. Luffy's gonna become king of the pirates. Oh, I guess you've chosen death.
Nice. Nice. That really does show the fucking loyalty. It's like, no, I'm not even gonna lie for my fucking life. Fuck you.
Honestly, it's those things where I like One Piece has some of the best side characters in Shonen, I swear to God.
I wouldn't really put Nami as a side character though. It's like she is a part of the
They're all
group.
main characters if you think about it.
Yeah, I think she belongs in the main cast. It's like Shanks or what was it called? Not Jinbe per se because he is joining them. Nah, he's a side character for most of it. Jinbe.
But he's main character now.
Yeah, he get main character privileges, but
Now he gets main character privileges.
Listen,
He will later get a shark transformation where he gets like really sharp fins and everything.
he will become like as fit as Arlong, and it's like basically the whole meme with Arlong is like the fucking what do you call it again?
Well, like Jinbei's a whale shark, is he not?
Is he? Well, in any case, Jinbe is fucking badass though.
Dude, like Jinbei's fucking badass.
Oh yeah. It's like, I don't know what he did to Wano, but the motherfucker in like Big Mom arc fucking. What did he do? He used a fucking boat and used it as a surf plank, for
Yeah,
fuck's sake.
that was in the Walking Island talk where he just fucking surfed with the fucking ship.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And apparently, he isn't the only one that can pull that shit off. It's apparently all the fucking mermen can do it because they fucking do that as children.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh man, but yeah, it's
Dude,
like,
can you imagine like a fucking One Piece surfing vacation? When all the characters do like surfing challenges, you have like fucking Jinbei to show off.
I know, right? And then of course, Luffy tries, but he's fucking sinking into the water. So
And
fucking person.
that hell already happened in an opening.
uh, no, yeah. Let's. Do you have anything else to say about Romance Dawn? Because I'm basically spent on that one.
I think we're done, right?
Yeah.
Man, I think my favorite funny moments though of that arc was the three when like so it's like, so how many other members do we have? You and me. That's it. Yes.
You.
Where's a ship? And Luffy like there's like this big boat outside and it's like it's gonna be a big ship one day. And Zoro's just laughing at it like how? Is that Luffy imagining it and Zoro just fucking facepalm? My favorite part about Zoro though as a character though, in the beginning you see him laugh often, right? And then Sanji joins and you never see him really laugh out loud like that ever again.
Man, what a rifle right there. I didn't think it was because of like fucking Sanji, but I thought mainly because stuff got a lot more serious after like the
no, you
whole
would think it would be Mihawk, but hey,
Yeah,
I like to be funny
like
here.
after the biggest fucking ass beating that Mihawk gave him. Oh man, that fucking scar also left him something to be desired of. It's like even Arlong was fucking scared of that fucking scar.
Right? He was terrified, but we're getting to Arlong later.
Yeah.
Let's get to Orange Town. The buggy arc. The arc where we meet Nami. Luffy gets tied up.
Zoro gets wounded as usual.
Zoro gets wounded, and lets the wound just like lets the blood splurt out as he like carries Luffy, and then makes Nami just explode Buggy with his own fucking ball of destruction.
Oh, it's one of those moments where Boogie was something. Where does he get some of his fucking tools? Because those fucking bombs were crazy fucking powerful.
And he goes over. He's a treasure hunter, so I guess he just found enough treasure to go yes.
I guess so.
Honestly, for me, the interesting part, like with this arc, is more like you can see the morality of like Luffy, like Luffy's morality when it comes to like, for example, when they burnt down the dog's like food stand and shit like that. And like Luffy has already defeated like the person doing it. And the person asks for forgiveness. Normally shonen characters like gives the forgiveness, but Luffy's like, now motherfucker, it's too late. You already fucked everything up. And then punches him into the fucking ground. Man, I thought it was so fucking cool though. Like, and especially when like Luffy just came in with like the only thing he could save, like the dog food, and just gives the dog the food, and then just sits to get next to it. It shows his character, right?
Yeah.
I really loved that moment though, especially with the soundtrack. Like, there's also a thing is the soundtrack is pretty. So One Piece soundtrack is pretty good, but I think in the beginning, it's had some issues, especially in the Romance Down arc, where there was this one moment where Zoro got like Morgan, and then the soundtrack just stops, like it just cuts, like it doesn't just slowly like, it just cuts like what the fuck, man. That's the only time it happens though. Like, but I love the soundtrack during that moment. But the more interesting part for me was more like the fight against Buggy. Like we see that Buggy is apparently a friend of Shanks, or at least was a friend of Shanks. He was part of the same crew as Shanks, and he despises Shanks. And like fucking stories like Luffy's Straw Hat, which where he made a promise on and shit like that. And you can see that in One Piece, characters are really about their fucking promises. Like, they would rather die than not fulfill their promise and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
And what was also interesting is the idea of treasure, because obviously it's a pirate show, which I didn't know at first. When I watched One Piece for episode 1, I was like, wait, this is a pirate show? What? I was
bamboozled. All these good things.
I was bamboozled. But, pirates obviously are all about treasure, but for Luffy, treasure can be more than just like, jewels and gold. Unlike Boogie, who only believes it's jewels and gold. for Luffy, treasure is the thing that he cares about, which is his like stall hat, because that's what he made the promise on to become a great pirate. It's interesting. And also, of
Yeah.
course, we see another person with a devil foot. We learn about devil foots as well in Romans Down, that they are. Some people believe it to be the reincarnation of the devil himself, and I find it interesting. Is that a hint, Oda? You never know.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of interesting things with these
Hey,
fucking
I
devil
just want to
fruits,
point
dude.
out, we have never seen the devil foot.
Yeah.
Akuma Akuma no Mi. Have you ever? Huh? Oh,
No.
it doesn't exist.
Well, give it a filler episode they might have created, not thinking about
Honestly,
it.
I wanted that to be the one big part of the story in my D&D session, One Piece session. It's like the main villains have like the devil food, model Belphegor, model Lucifer, model Beelzebub, and shit like that, right?
No, no. Not
But
Lord of
that's
the Fries.
hmm?
Yeah,
Yeah, Lord of the
continue.
Flies. Yeah. But anyway, well, and we see like the first devil food battle, which is like it's like a fucking crazy, just fucking craziness for like the other characters who've never eaten a devil food. Devil food is like, what the fuck is this shit? Like especially Nami.
It's fair, actually, but I guess you never really seen a devil fruit in her at travels and shit.
Yeah, because it's in the Grand Line where the devil foods are more common. Like in the Blue Seas, like devil foods are more like rumors. No one knows
Right.
they actually exist. Certain islands as well, like devil foods are a thing that are a mystery to some people.
Really is. Unless you go to the Grand Line, like you said, there is everybody has this. No, not everybody, but a good amount of people that are
You will always
important
find a
to have.
devil food eater somewhere.
Yeah. It's actually interesting though with like Buggy's devil fruit too. It's apparently it's like the whole devil fruit is that he can slice himself into pieces, but apparently it made him also immune to like fucking Zoro.
Yeah, but the thing with Bookie's devil food, I think, is that the devil food actually has a lot of potential. It can actually be a really good fucking food. But Bucky is kinda weak. It's Bucky that's the problem, not the food, basically.
Yeah.
But that's also what I like about the devil food, is that what's interesting about them is like they don't just give you powers. They give you an ability, but it's up to you what to do with it, right?
Yeah, it's the reason why. Even though you would think rubber, how would rubber be any good? It's like you would think that, but then Luffy shows you that besides the resistance to lightning, it just gives you. You can do a lot of things with it if you're smart about it or
Right?
creative about it.
It's
Uh,
about the creativity when it comes to it, and that's what I really like about this power.
yeah,
Ah, I see. Someone else wants to talk about the One Piece too. Um,
yeah,
yeah. All right.
yes, but yeah. It's like it really is. It shows just how everybody has to be just creative about it.
Of course, this arc also introduces Nami for real to us. And at
Hmm.
first, what's weird about Nami is that at first I didn't like her that much. But then I rewatched One Piece, I was like, Nami's great. What the fuck? I don't understand why. Yeah, it sometimes happens. Do you have a moment where, like, in the first time you watch a show, you dislike a character, but then you rewatch it, you're like, you know what, this character is awesome.
I don't know right now. It's like I can't think of one off the top of my head. If it comes down to anything, it's like yeah, I could say as well as like the Nami wasn't that much of a fun character at the beginnings of the show,
Yeah, but when
but
I
then
watch it again, I realize, like you also understand her backstory and such, and you also understand more why she does what she does, right? But what's
yeah,
interesting about the character in Orange Town, when I'm looking at it closely, is that she hates pirates and shit, and she's willing to betray Luke and stuff, but she won't let someone die because of her, even if he is a pirate.
shows you how
She
principled some
has
characters are.
principles, and it's interesting to see like her wanting to work with Luffy. At first, she just wants to work with him, but at some point as time goes on, she realizes Luffy it's not like the other pirates and stuff, and she actually starts to like the other guys. But she's trapped. She's trapped, and she has to eventually betray them.
Yeah,
But I think it also creates a more interesting story setup for the later arcs. But that's also much later, because then we have the Syrup arc, which is the arc that everyone doesn't really like that much when it comes to the East Blue saga.
that was like the whole fucking thing with Usopp, right? Or was
Right?
Usopp later?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like Usopp was the typical the wolf that cried the boy that cried wolf,
Yeah. That's what the story is all about.
and it's like for most of it, it's a story about like a cowardly boy trying to stand up, and I guess maybe it's the build up that people didn't really like. Maybe it took for a fucking ever for some things. Who knows? Because for me, it's like I don't know, man. I did enjoy a lot of like fucking the syrup arc. If that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Usopp and all of that. So it's like I couldn't see what I
At
said
first,
what did he say?
I think the reason why people didn't like the series was apparently that they felt it went on for too long or something.
Hmm.
I honestly, rewatching it, it's like I don't know, I don't mind it too much. I'm not against the arc basically. I don't dislike the arc at all.
It's like
Uh,
it's a lot of introduction. It's like it's the moment when like fucking you see how fucking cowardly Usopp as well. It's like well
but
it's like
it also there's still moments where Usopp shows that he's a coward, but then I see the lengths he goes to save this this village, and he does care enough about people. And the thing about Usopp is that he's a coward. He's always scared. But when it
yeah.
comes down to it, he will put that aside to do the right thing.
Yeah, it's like he was the fucking guy that thought like, nah, I can't tell these guys that pirates are coming. I'm gonna let it be as the fucking lies it always
I'm not
was.
gonna let the pirates come into the village. I'm gonna let it turn it into a lie by defeating them then and there. Even though, and he doesn't want anyone's pity, and even though he's fucking scared, like his legs are shaking, and it's like, I don't want your pity, damn it. And Luffy's like, no, we're not gonna help you because out of pity. We're gonna do it because we respect you. And that's another character point of Luffy, because if like Usopp were a coward, Luffy wouldn't help him at all.
Yeah, but
But he sees that like Usopp is willing to put his fear to the side, to do the right thing. And
yeah,
that's what makes Luffy respect him, I think.
and then afterwards become his fucking best friend. Apparently, they also were like fucking, Luffy actually knew his father too
Yeah,
in that arc
as
too.
well. That was also an interesting point, and also gives us a bit of I guess could you call it foreshadowing? I think it's more so like gives us an idea of that Usopp has potential to become a really like not a strong fighter, but has with someone with a great skill, and that which is sniping, of course.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't show. Yeah, it shows actually in this arc alone that he had some good moments of sniping going on.
Right? Man, the fact also that look, fucking got beat up to fucking hell as well, trying to stop the pirates until Luffy and Zoro came along.
Yeah, what was the reason for those two guys to take for fucking ever?
Luffy, like, Usopp said go to this slope, and Luffy went and didn't know where to go. Zoro, like, they had a trap ready and everything at the wrong slope, right?
Oof.
With, like, the glue and everything. Nami and Zoro fell down. Were, like, down that part. They couldn't get back up. Nami used Zoro to get back up, and Zoro was left behind. Zoro couldn't
Yeah,
get back up from the fucking slope.
I just gotta say, it's like Nami. This was the period where Nami's most usefulness really was her navigation skills.
That's a
So
navigation, also thievery. She's really good at, like, stealing shit.
yeah, so I don't really know why she decided not to help out Zoro first to get
I
out of
would,
this fucking
I
mess.
would, I would add. There's a reason. Luffy was now he was worried about the treasures. They were gonna take the treasures in the ship, and now we really needed those treasures that I got in like orange stuff.
Right. So she said, "Nah, you can do it yourself, Zoro. I'll get the treasures back."
Yeah,
And, we get introduced to like the fucking. We also got introduced to like Usopp's girlfriend, basically, as
right.
well as the evil butler.
The evil butler, which apparently. Well, it's also an interesting thing about One Piece when it comes to like villains and powers and such, that they have interesting powers that kind of, makes it like the East Blue. They didn't really have like devil fruit powers or like they didn't always have devil fruit powers and everything. They had like makeup skills of their own, which is what like this evil butler did, for example, where he like has the stealth foot and everything. And Shakushi, Shakushi.
You know, it's like besides the fact that he was probably like somewhat weaker in terms of like the power level in Grand Blue, right? It did show that he really was like probably the most skillful opponent that Luffy fought in that arc too. It's like it's not as powerful as what was that fucking guy from Baratie? In terms of
Don Creek.
Don Creek, I think Don Creek really had more power together with all of his tool, but
And with
whoa,
him it was his tools. With Arlo it was because he was a fishman. You see, like with the East
yeah,
Blue arc, every villain as an interesting different power because of either their work or what they are. But it's always different.
Yeah, and in Kuro's case, it was skill. It really was.
Yeah.
It's like, you cannot tell me that he wasn't skilled by like having stealth foots and whatnot.
If you think about it, though, I guess the East Blue was just like an introduction to what kind of villains we're gonna see later. Like, we're gonna see different food users. We're gonna see people that are born different. We're gonna see people with skills.
We're gonna see Haki as well at some point.
Yeah, this was like in the first episode was actually like foreshadowed, only to be explained much later or like being seen lost much later.
Yes, that also is like in fucking One Piece. There's a lot of fucking things being foreshadowed before later at times. Even fucking laws in this world might be foreshadowed, but never be explained till the time comes.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. So like, we also besides like the introduction of Kuro, who we actually never get to see like again, except at one scene.
Basically,
we also get to see one of his crew members, the one that could hypnotize people.
Yeah, who became a marine officer later down the road.
I know, right? That is so great.
There was a special about him as well. Like, was it like a dancing special or something? I don't know what the fuck it was, but yeah.
It's like, and he had some other other character was also with him as like an officer. Who was that other guy? Because I remember him not being alone in this one.
Oh. Anyway.
Thank you, Jess.
Ah, yeah, no problem. I got you, bro. We can now play Halo together.
How much did it cost you, though?
23 euros.
Alright then.
It was in on sales.
Yeah. So, in any case, what else do we have?
Syrup arc. Usopp has the most basic backstory. His mom died. Because of that, he had to keep like lying and doing stupid shit to kind of stop being lonely, basically.
Yeah.
Because his dad wasn't there either. He went out to get the one milk. The best milk in existence, the one milk.
Yes.
So after that, we get to like the Baratie arc, which was where things got interesting. Like I said, like we get the Oceanet, like we get like the Sea Restaurant, which already is like an interesting setup compared to like other places. It's just like that's just a place here.
This thing just travels through all of East Blue, just being a restaurant and shit.
Yeah, with its own history and shit. Man, we got like Sanji and Luke. Like Sanji's a character as well. It's it's basically fucking man. I'm gonna go after all the women. Sanji is the ultimate simp.
Yeah, when we look at that, we got Brook from Brock from Pokemon here.
Yeah, well, he can kick a bitch. No, not a bitch, a bastard. He cannot kick a bitch. He can kick a bastard though.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I love the introduction to Baratie as well. It's like a restaurant with all the fucking people there are like pirates.
Oh, pirates, yeah.
But because that's the thing. Only the chef is a pirate. The rest are just fucking random crew members.
They're crew members, but they just they look like a part of the pirates. Yeah, they look like as if they're pirates, but only the chef was like the ex-pirate too.
Of course, that like the owner chef blames Luffy for like blowing his shit up. It was like the Marines that like fired a cannonball who are eating at his restaurant.
Yeah, but you see Luffy fucking flew into that fucking hole there, so Luffy got all the blame. Shouldn't have fallen onto the fucking cannonball.
My favorite part though is that Luffy looked at his leg and was like, I did that? Oh shit!
Little did he know that it was actually Zeph himself who did that. And I guess he will never know that part either.
Yeah.
It's only something that like Sanji knows.
Man, like Baratie arc had a lot of funny moments too. Then Don Krieg shows up. Don Krieg's like mate shows up. Hungry as fuck, like escaping from the ship and shit.
Yeah.
And he gets treated like shit. Until we see like Sanji giving him food for free. And we see again a bit of what like Sanji is like.
It's like but before that though, it's like all of the things is Luffy, because you fucking broke my roof, blow up my ship. You're gonna pay it back by working for me for the rest of your life.
Nah, I need to go to the Grand Line.
No, the Grand Line after you paid me back, and it's like the whole thing too. It's like this shows off like one of other Luffy's like character quirks is he
He
doesn't
had,
give a shit whose food it is. He eats them all.
like, oh man,
Or
it's
or the fact that he was trying to like I wasn't he was trying to troll Zoro by putting like a fucking bug into
booger
his
in his fucking glass
water.
of water, and Zoro was pretending to about to eat it, and then fucking shoves it into Luffy's mouth and loved it.
That's really show. It's like Luffy has this fucking playful moments, and I don't think Zoro wouldn't be about that shit too.
What I like about Zoro's dynamic with Luffy though is that Zoro's basically just like a calm version of Luffy. Because both of them have similar morals and shit too.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a hero. Heroes have to share their meat. I want to eat all the meat. I don't want to be a hero. Heroes have to share their alcohol. I want to drink all the alcohol.
Damn it, Zoro. Damn it, Luffy.
What you fucking doing?
Those two really did. So that's where it all starts, and then, like you said, the whole thing comes. This fucking pirate comes in, and it's like
comes in.
Donkey is like I guess first mate because that's how important he looked like. Got then kicked out by like the Baretti crew because pirates. Who the fuck gives them mercy?
No, just because he didn't have money.
Oh, he didn't have money. So
money
they beat the crap out of him because he didn't have money. And then afterwards, Zoro took him to the back of Sanji. Sorry, took him to the back of the ship to give him the food.
Right.
And not even like a small portion of something.
Then his mate came back with Don Krieg, who he and his leftover of like 100 soldiers of 100 pirates were like fucking starving. And yeah, that's kind of how it went. But we hear these horror stories of like Don Krieg, how he like, he's called foul play with Don Krieg. Like he fucking uses a white flag to pretend to surrender, then fucking kills everyone. He uses like a marine ship to like snuck into things. Like he is the biggest fucking dick. Right. And he had a fleet of 5,000 pirates, and they were all reduced in the Grand Line because of fucking Mihawk. Why did Mihawk do that? He was bored. They woke him up with his nap. And it's funny how like Zeph also said that, right? Like Zeph basically went, "Did you wake someone up with his nap?" It's like, hey, don't joke around like that. I'm not joking. Those things happen in the Grand Line. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What you also notice though, like you say how cheap and a cheap person he is, right? Don Krieg.
Yeah, right.
And you notice him then also come in with like a whole sack of gold and shit to try and repay them. And then Zeph comes with food because why am I? He gave me gold. I'm gonna give him the food, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Don Krieg says, "Haha, thank you for the power up. Now I'm gonna take over your ship, bastard."
Yeah. But one thing I like is that how Don Krieg says he becomes Pirate King, and Luffy's immediately like, no, me. Luffy's not scared. He doesn't give a fuck. He has his dream. He's gonna fight for it. And all these things are happening with Mihawk showing up as well, cutting the ship in fucking three. Cutting like the ship of Don Krieg in three. It's like, what the fuck?
No, it was like a fucking show of power level.
Oh, yeah. A lot of interesting things happen, but I think we actually need to kind of move along a bit quicker with like explain, like we shouldn't like recap the whole arc, just say what we think of it, because man, we're gonna have to spend a lot of fucking time.
I'm gonna make a part 2 next week.
I'll probably just make a fucking review video.
And then, so besides what we said, this was the arc that we both really loved.
It had some of the coolest fights, like Luffy versus Don Krieg.
Yeah.
And it came from also this is where Nami betrayed the West and like left, and we have to go after because she worked for Arlong.
We also randomly met these two fucking mercenaries that like look at Zoro as like their fucking boss.
Yeah.
So.
Aniki. Basically.
Who were the ones that got like fucking tricked by Nami as well? They were the one that were like ship guard duty and shit. In any case. That's how you fucking end it. It's like Don Krieg defeated, Sanji joins the crew after a tsundere moment with his whole fucking family.
And basically, I like how it's like men do not shed tears and like leaving, and Sanji's like, "Oh, that's Zeph!" No, and even Zeph had like a tear. It's like, no, idiot, like men are not supposed to cry when they say farewell. What? There's also the backstory of Sanji and like Zeph. Like Zeph raided his fucking like ship when Sanji was on as a child, and then the storm like broke the thing, and Zeph saved Sanji because they had the same dream.
of finding all the fucking like fishes or food. No,
All
they wanted to
blue,
find the Grand
a
Blue, the
sea,
All Blue.
all blue with like all the fish from all the different seas together. It was like Cook's Paradise and shit.
Who the fuck that Seth would be like a fucking cook? That's back in his old pirate days.
It was, yeah.
And this was also the place where the whole event with Seth also
It,
teaches Sanji about like helping people that are in dire need of hunger and shit. Like he felt
it's more so,
starvation.
but no, it's more like both of them had the same idea because both of them knew how it felt like to starve.
Yeah,
That's why Zeph wanted to make a restaurant. It's a terrible place in the sea to like go hungry.
yeah. It's like for the people that wonder, Zeph lost his leg in the anime. He lost it because he lost it by like ripping his leg off because it got stuck to save Sanji. In the manga, he ate his foods because he was getting hungry.
Yeah, like he gave Sanji all the food and he kept all the treasures, pretending it was food. So that Sanji would later down the road go get hold of him and try to steal like Zeph's food, but there's no food. There's only treasure. Zeph ate his own leg. And that's when the two like, actually started bonding, really.
Yeah.
Zeph was like the father Sanji never had, because Sanji did have a father, and we'll get to that. Anyway, Along Park arc though was when I don't know, everything about it was awesome. Okay, guess I'm just gonna talk about Along Park for myself then. The Along Park was such an amazing arc though. I feel the drama in One Piece is always such a good thing. It almost never really feels forced. Like I feel there's other shows that have drama in them, but like some of the drama feels kind of forced. Like oh no, there's this easy solution, but I'm against the solution because well I don't like it, guys. I'm not gonna talk about it for 5 minutes. I'm gonna spend a whole fucking 40 minutes episodes just fucking doing different things to work against everyone to make things harder for everyone so that the main villain can do the shit. Now, One Piece wasn't like that. Like, all the characters have good reasons for doing what they're doing. They all have good motives for being a part of the drama and shit. They all have, like, shit going on that makes them what they are or makes them do what they do. And this was the same case. Like, Nami, was part of Arlong's school all along. Arlong was a fishman pirate who came from the Grand Line. He is racist against humans. He thinks humans are lesser than him and fishmen in general. And he's basically planning to take over the East Blue, or at least that's his first plan. As of now, he has like conquered like Nami's village, basically has made like this little base called Arlong Park, which is where he, does the shit. He basically makes the people there pay a fucking huge debt. He is also very much about money. Literal loan shark. Can you believe it? A literal fucking loan shark. Yeah, he pays off the Marines so that the Marines don't come at him. And if Marines were to come at him, he would just fuck them up. Because there was the moment where the Marines did come at him, and it didn't end well at all. Because, especially with like Nami, because he forces Nami to like dwell things. Not only that, like dwell maps. Because Nami's a great, not only a great navigator, but a great cartographer. So, and with Nami's power, they could kind of, how should I say, learn more about, what was it? It was more about like knowing how the waters, not how the waters work, but where everything is. So they could manipulate the water, so they could like manipulate the currents to fuck over the Marines who are like on the boats. Because a fishman as well, like an average fishman is 10 times stronger than a human. And a fishman also can, move and breathe on the water with ease. Now that makes sense. And the strength is what was it, doubled on the water, whereas like a person's strength is like half, cut in half on the water. You really see that Nami just pretends to kind of fuck around with like or just pretends to be part of the crew basically. Yeah, she pretends to be heartless and everything so that no one will like her, so that no one will help her, because she doesn't want help. She wants to do this alone. She doesn't want anyone else to be a part of her problem, basically. And I think this partially because of her backstory, where she has like a foster mom. Her real mom probably died in a war, and her foster mom used to be a Marine. And as a Marine, she was at death's door. But Nami and her older sister were saved by her, and she decided to make her and her older sister, who they're not even real sisters either, but you know, they practically have become one family together. And that's also another part of the story, is just how family is more than just blood, basically. I think that's One Piece in general, though. Like, family is just like the people you live with, I guess. The people you live with and you get along with, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, I'm not that good. It's also because I'm nervous now, because I'm alone, and then I get nervous, and then I don't really, my mind kind of doesn't really go, like, I'm not able to communicate the way I normally do. But that's also why, that's also just in general, though, when it comes to talking about things I like without a script. I can think of things in my head, but when I have to, like, communicate them properly, I don't really know what to talk. Also, you know, the world building as well gets more interesting as well. It's like, you know, you have the Shichibu guy, you know, like Mihawk. Mihawk is like one of the 7 warlords of the sea, as they say in the official translation. Shichibu guy is what I'm used to, so I'm just using that. Arlong was the brother of the Shichibu guy, Jinbei, who was also a fishman, obviously. So, because of that, I assumed as well that Jinbei was gonna be evil, like Arlong was. It's just interesting and stuff. We get more interesting news about the fishmen and shit. And we get also, you know, again, another idea of what the Grand Line is like. Is the whole, a lot of East Blue at this point is like, well, the Grand Line, in the Grand Line, you're gonna meet people like this, you know? And if you're not prepared, you know, you'll get fucked. What more? Where should I go next? I'm not gonna recap the whole arc again, because I don't have that much time. But this backstory of Nami, like, you know, her mom, like, got killed by Arlong because she didn't have enough money. Like, they were poor. They were a poor family. And Bellemere had only had 100,000. And for children to live, they had to, like, pay 50,000 berries. So, now, the idea was to, like, make Nami and Nochiko, her older sister, like, just kind of leave in secret so that Bellemere could live. But, you know how it is. Bellemere just couldn't say that she didn't have a family, you know? Like, she sacrificed her life and stuff like that. But not only that, she also knows about pirates. She has been a marine for a while. She knows what pirates do. And she already knows that all the escape, like, boats and ships, they're already destroyed by the Arlong pirates. So Nami and Nochiko wouldn't have been able to escape anyway. She let herself get killed by Arlong. She did try to fight Arlong at first, because she didn't know what was going on. And honestly, if she just took the shot, she probably would have, like, won too, but no. She had to be like, what are you? What are you doing here? And then Arlong was like, haha, I bit your fucking shotgun, fuck off. And then, you know, he shot her. But if that wasn't enough, they saw, the other fishmen saw, like, Nami's, like, drawings and such, because Nami had, like, a dream to, like, make a whole world map, a whole map of the world. And, yeah. So that's all the cartography drawings Nami made, and they basically forced her to join the crew. Nami made a deal with Arlong to, like, send 1 billion. Was it 1 billion? No, it was 100 million, wasn't it? 100 million to free the village, basically, to return the village to everyone and such. Arlong agreed to that, but in return, Nami has to work for him as his photographer. Now, Nami, I guess in order to make sure she doesn't get help, because she doesn't want anyone else to, like, be a part of this problem, she pretends to have joined Arlong on her own free will for money. You know, and basically everyone to make sure that everyone doesn't like her and just leaves her alone, right? In reality, everyone already knows, but they are just pretending because they know that Nami doesn't want help at all. And Nami was so close to it too. Like, I think she got, like, what, 97,000? 97 million berries? Was it 97, 91? I don't really remember how much it was, but she really didn't need that much more. And then you know, the shit happens. Like, you know, the others come to the island. Luffy, Zoro was already there with Usopp and one of his bounty hunter friends. At some point, they met Nami again, and Nami pretended to kill Usopp because Usopp got captured. And she basically, you know, she goes far, right? Like, she fucking stabs her own hand in front of, like, Usopp's stomach to make it look like Usopp was bleeding to death. And then dropped him into the water so that Usopp could escape. Of course, the others didn't know that, but they didn't believe that Nami killed Usopp. Even though it was, like, one of the bounty hunters that said so. Because he saw that. And Nami was pretending to be a real, like, tough person. It's like, no, leave the island. And Luffy's like, nah, don't feel like it. Leave the island. Nah, I don't want to. And then Nami gets angry at them and just fucking runs away. Then her older sister comes up to them and basically says, like, if you leave this island, I'll tell you everything about what happened in the, you know, what happened in the past. Then you have to leave the island. Luffy's like, no, fuck it, I don't want to do that. Then Luffy leaves. He just goes for a stroll. He sees the fish pen, walks by the fish pen. He didn't give a fuck. He just wants to stroll. So that basically is what happens. Then, you know, the Marines come in. The Marines come in. They are basically, you know, they basically took Nami's money because all the money stolen from pirates belongs to the world government. So they stole all of Nami's money. All of it. Zero. It's gone now. All the hard work for 8 years since she was a child, stealing shit, you know, from pirates. All gone. Just fucking gone. Just like that. My god. And then she goes to Arlong, and Arlong's like, what promise did I break? Because Arlong didn't take her body. It was the Marines. That he paid off, sure, but, you know, nothing you can do about that. Ha ha ha. That's when, you know, you realize that no matter what you do, you can't free that village. And the villagers know this now. And angrily, they charge at Arlong, knowing that they'll die. Nami is basically at a state of fucking despair and everything, and stabs the fucking mark of Arlong on his shoulder over and over again. And when that scene happened, I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? Then Luffy stops her. And then it's just this wonderful moment of Nami telling her that she told him to leave, and she told him to you know, leave her alone. And then at the end, she just cries and asks for help. Just like of course we will! You're damn straight we will! And then the other 3 characters outside, like, are already ready to walk. And then you have the walk. The walk. You have, like, the hero walk is a thing that exists with One Piece, man. It was the walk. You know, when you have, like, those fucking straw hats walking towards you like that with the epic soundtrack in the background, you know you're fucked. There's no way you can win anymore. They did the walk. It was so badass. Like, even like Usopp was badass in that moment. I don't know. It was so. It was so cool. So it was magnifique, magnifique. And it's been longer than 10 minutes. Where are you? I'm almost done explaining it all on Parkour. Hold on. Oh man, just that whole moment. And then you have, like, fights afterwards as well that are really fucking cool. I actually watched the One Piece episode of Nami special, and actually I kind of liked the special as well, especially with its animation and stuff like that. It's not perfect, sure. It has a, like, out of all the specials though, that, like, recap episode, that basically is like a recap of an arc, I think the episode of Nami is probably the best one, because it doesn't cut out too much. Because it felt like the pacing of, like, other things that it has to cut out too much, because it had to fit everything in 2 hours, but, like, episode of Nami was just fine. There was one thing I was kind of missing. That was how Zoro got his scar. But outside of that, most of the things that should be in there is in there, and that's, you know, it's great. I think if you, like, have never watched One Piece before, maybe you should try out the episode of Nami thing to see, like, one of the best arcs in motion. So One Piece is really good because of its, like, you know, build up. So I'm not sure if that will work either. Oh man, I'm getting hungry now. Fuck. I'm getting hungry. I need some meat. Luffy! Luffy, want to share some meat? No? Come here! Give me your meat, you fucking jackass! Jesus Christ. Well, anyway. All the fights were really cool. Usopp also has a character moment where he, like, I didn't expect him to have a fight at all. where he was running away, was thinking of just leaving and like pretending to be dead, and then he's like, no, I can't laugh with the rest if I do that, and he fucking decides to fight back, and through strategy he wins. I thought that was really, really cool. And then you have, of course, the funniest moment with like, stop hammer! Stop hammer! Stop hammer! Stop hammer! It's so proper band. Stop hammer! I love it. Love it. Great. Everything about that arc's great. You know, you see how like resilient the characters are and how much, you know, how their personality kind of strengthens them as well. I think it's their person. Yeah.
I'm sorry I was gone. My fucking brother came from school.
Okay.
I had to help him out real quick.
Okay. We're talking about the
So,
Allen Park arc.
at what point are you? Better
I
question.
literally have to fight now.
I at the fights. I'll let you continue.
Well, yeah, I was at the shop, I think, and it was fights in general were really good. All of them were really cool. I really love this arc. Everything about it was really good. It's definitely my favorite East Blue arc. And just like Luffy versus Arlong as well. Like Arlong actually felt like a threat to Luffy as well. And then at the end where Luffy got angry because he realized how much pain Nami had to go through because of this asshole when he was in her room, and just like him not like Arlong not being able to move his weapon because Luffy held onto it with anger. It was like, wow, it kind of shows that Luffy. Man, I'm always someone that really likes strong characters. So I'm like, wow, that's such a fucking badass moment. But then I'm also just destroying the room because it's the room that Nami doesn't want to be in, and like Nami understanding that. I thought that was such an amazing moment. Just before like Luffy just does the fucking stamp and it fucking shoves Arlong down the fucking building with his fucking leg. That was so awesome. And then the soundtrack with it too. The soundtrack that came with it, especially it was in the like episode of Nami as well, where the soundtrack was, oh my god, it's just so cool.
It's a poor Luffy lost his balls in the process, but it was all worth it.
It was all worth it.
That was really the arc where it is like, you know, where everybody really did shine in a
Yeah.
man, and all realized how fucking serious this shit has gotten. It makes me wonder though what the like. I know Luffy got the motivation all that because she asked for help and all that shit, but
Mm-hmm.
and really after seeing the room and all, but I wonder what the motivation of the other guys really was besides Sanji. Look, pay attention to it.
And I think they were all the same. I think they all
Yeah.
heard Nami. They all heard Nami's backstory, right?
And they just know how fucking important it is to fucking free her, so they just do it.
I think not much more about important, but it's more like she is our friend. She just couldn't stay. Like she just had to betray us. She had no choice, understanding that part. And she finally asked for help, so fuck it, we're gonna help her now. She's our navigator, motherfuckers.
She's our friend, our crew member.
And it's Nakama, jeez.
Shut up, weep.
Yeah, okay. Oh man, it was such a good arc.
It really was.
And then we get to like Lockdown, which is actually better in the anime because it has more content in the anime. I feel like the filler in Lockdown actually makes the arc better. Because the shows not all, yeah.
One Piece was that show where they did actually their best with the filler to make it fit with the world. There were a lot of
Most of the
there
time,
were
yeah.
a lot of filler that were really good, and then there were some where you just don't care enough about them.
But the filler in One Piece works mainly because One Piece is all about like adventuring and getting into a different island. So it kind of makes sense that there might be in other islands in between arcs.
Yeah. It's like, if this, for example, like you mentioned, Lockdown, because apparently, what were the fillers in that fucking show?
What's the cooking episode with Sanji, for one thing?
Yeah.
It was actually the stop like episode with like Daddy. What was his name? Daddy. And like first stop.
Right, where he did the sniping.
Yeah, that was also filler. And I was surprised to hear that. It
was really good too.
Yeah, both really good. Yeah, so what was also filler was like Luffy like finding smoke for the first time and like just fucking flying out of the fucking area. That was also filler. But man, like Lockdown is a really interesting build-up arc. It was honestly, it's like when you arrive in a town in an RPG and you like buy equipment and prepare for the next journey. It's literally what it was.
Was it also? What was also filler? I was just fucking thinking for a moment. The moment where Zoro was cleaning the Marine's floor.
Oh no, that was canon, I think.
That was canon.
Yeah.
Oh, why is the pirate Ronald Zoro cleaning our fucking floor? The
it's
fucking evil villain.
it's the pirate Hunter Zorro, and he's cleaning our floors. That villain.
That was such a funny fucking scene.
I think that's such a fucking genius joke.
Yeah, worked perfect.
Anyway, man, it's very interesting things like Zoro's cursed sword and like in buying new switch because it's broke, obviously, due to milk.
Hmm.
And also Tashigi, like it looks exactly like Zoro's girlfriend, childhood friend, who died before being able to make the promise of either any one of them becoming the best swordsman person woman.
And some people, including Jess, and I would agree, I do like this idea, is that there's probably more going on that meets
I
the eye.
I feel there's more. Have you seen how much it takes to kill a One Piece character, man?
Yeah.
You can't just kill. You can't just die from tripping over the stairs.
In One Piece, yeah, I agree.
Like, and it didn't see a body. Let's be honest here. We didn't see a body.
I guess, yes. So yeah, there's a lot more going
There
on
has
that
to
meets the
be
eye.
more going on in that. It's so, but honestly, it's also just that Zoro. We don't know a lot about Zoro actually. We don't know his parents. We don't know where he actually. We don't even know where he was born.
That's actually, you're right about that part too. It's like we know all we know about Zoro is that he was a challenger of like a certain dojo where he met his like childhood friend and all that.
Right?
But compared to Sanji, which Sanji, the same story goes there. All we know is that he was once part of this fucking
Well,
cooking ship, and then he became a cooking
at the
pirate.
time, that's all we knew. Until like at the Jai arc, where he says he was actually from North Blue, but he later came to the East Blue.
Yeah, that was like little parts of it, but we don't see the whole picture, unlike we did with like Usopp or
But the
Nami.
amount of hints though for his fucking backstory is fucking.
It's like because if you think about it, but for example, like Nami, we already know that she came from like a war zone as a
Yeah.
little child and was like grew up in this fucking place with his like mother figure and sister figure. And then you know Usopp, who is like the son of this pirate, and how his mother died, and he born here and grew up and shit, right?
Imagine the like plot twist. It's like Nami's grandpa is like one of the generals of Blackbeard.
You know what though? The fun would be we would never know unless the fucking man says, "Oh, look, you remind me a lot of my granddaughter," but maybe he makes that shit up. Who fucking knows? And I'm looking at this with a realistic sense, right?
Right?
Because think
Hey,
about it. There are a lot of moments where people could think of, yeah, this person reminds me of somebody, but could he really be that person?
could really be that person.
Because last time I seen it was like fucking 30 years ago.
I mean, Nami's 21 right now. I mean, like she's eight. She was no. How
She
old
was a
was
lot,
she? No, no, she was eight. She was 18 in pre-time skip.
and a lot younger in the fucking backstory, from what
Oh
I
yeah, and
remember.
the Dexter was 10 years ago. Was it 10 years ago? That was 8 years ago. Fucking hell, I keep forgetting.
And then you remember that she grew up with them. So what age was she picked up by? Like what was that? Her
No,
name?
she was
Beth?
baby. She was a baby. She literally was just a baby.
It's like like I said, fucking a grandfather saying, "Yeah, I do remember this granddaughter of mine." Are you sure about that? That could literally be anybody.
The simple one is the grandfather is a wizard, is a weather wizard. Nami is a weather wizard.
All right, then. It's all right. What do you want to
um, you know, Lockdown. We also get introduced to Smoker, and Smoker, like at first, my favorite Smoker had such a good introduction because it was like Oda already made characters that were such evil dicks, and even a Marine as well was an evil dick. Then like you have Smoker who looks also like an evil person. Then you have like this child who like accidentally like dropped her ice cream on his pants, and you have like Smoker giving the nastiest face, and then it goes down to her and goes, "Oh, that's too bad. That's too bad, little one. It seems my pants ate your ice cream. Here, buy a few more scoops." And those that Smoker's actually a pretty okay guy. He's a pretty nice guy, all things
Yeah,
considered.
it's just, it's like, but Smoker just has this intimidating look, but in actuality, he's just a great guy. It's like
Is an
Zoro.
imitating Duke, doesn't really listen to the rules, kind of like goes off of his own sense of justice, and kind of. I like what Smoker, Smoker is very like stubborn, you know. He's like, a pirate's bad. I'm gonna capture all of them. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But underneath that, he's a very nice person.
Yeah. It really is. It's just one way of introducing him. It's just you know he's the
Dude,
Marine,
like,
so of course we're gonna fight Luffy, but that's it.
dude, honestly, I think the only reason why Smoker isn't a dad is because he's too busy with work that he doesn't get a girlfriend.
At some point,
Like Smoker? Can you actually Smoker dad? Daddy Smoker.
actually, I can. I can. That's because Smoker can work in that. You would have to think of somebody else that doesn't work as a dad, or at least doesn't look like you would work as a dad. Remember the mafia boss who became a dad?
Right, he did. But like, how do you come from like sociopath who likes to like torture animals to, you know what? I'm gonna become a good dad.
Yeah, how does that happen?
That's
I
some
guess,
character. That's some major character development there.
mate, it's just apparently that's what happens when you become a father. It's just basically what happens.
And sometimes, like, you know, not. I wish that was always the case because there's some dads that are just like, nah, fuck you, fuck my kids. I don't give a
One
shit
of
about.
the examples is Dad Gone, as you know, Sargon, who became a dad, and then he realizes, wait a second, I can't have my kids say stuff like fuck or
No.
God damn it, because it just doesn't fit. It just doesn't work for him, and he decides to try and curse less in front of them or smoke.
Yeah,
And,
I know. I would have to do the same thing if I would get children too. I would have to curse less. Like, oh man, how am I gonna do this? You know how much my mom had to try hold herself in.
probably
Do not swear.
what happens to me too if I
You know what sucks? I swore anyway. It's like, how the fuck did she even get that from?
Mate, that just happens. It really is the case. It's like your children are gonna swear. It's just probably not in front of you.
No, I didn't give a fuck. Now all it is that when it comes to swearing, it's not. It's like I don't understand. I never understood why it was bad because the explanation was like, well, it's not nice. It's like, okay, but why?
I couldn't help you either. It's like then you have these fucking.
Like if my child were to swear, but they ask me why is swearing bad, I'm like, oh fuck. I'm just going to have to hope that like it's not very nice is enough for the explanation.
Not all kids are like that, sadly. You really have.
No, I'm not like that. You have to have an actual explanation. And you know, not nice is not enough.
I guess it's probably the ideal. Like, you know what? That's a topic for another time. One Piece
Yeah,
first.
One Piece first.
So locked. So what else do you think?
I think what Smoker is that Smoker saw the Pirate King in Luffy, and because of that, honestly, I think partially why Smoker changes Luffy is not even to capture him. It's to like see if Luffy can do it. I don't know why. That's just how I feel about it.
Smoker's backstory too that he was at Lockdown when Roger got.
But
like,
enough. That was also filler.
Oh, that was also filler.
Yeah, it's just it's something we can assume it's canon though, but it was filler.
What about the scene where like Luffy was almost executed by?
Yeah,
Bobby?
that was definitely canon. That was 100% canon.
All right then.
Man, and then it's so then like fucking Dragon shows up as well, and like we only have this mystery character we know nothing about. It's like, what the fuck? Who's this guy?
He's still the biggest fucking mystery as it is. We only know is now he's dead, or at least he has dead feelings going on. Always looking to the east to look for Luffy or something.
And to look back to where he was born.
To look where Luffy was born, even keeping up with Luffy's fucking actions as a pirate, and saving him from Smoker. But we still don't know his devil fruit and shit.
No.
And also
some think it's a weather food, some think it's the wind food. Who knows?
And then Invita came back as a slippery maiden.
Right? Slippery maiden.
Like she's so sleepy, her vagina's always wet.
I think someone even asked that. I think I would have said yes. Because that's... Who knocked Shanks away? Fucking assholes.
So, do you think we're done?
With Lockdown, I guess so. We went to the Grand Line afterwards, which had a filler arc bit in between too.
It's apparently. I wonder, is it actually like a true case though? Is like the Oda say, yeah, this is actually the case in the Calm Belt, because
the Calm Belt happened in the manga, but it's the only thing that happened in like the rest of the arc is filler.
Right.
The combat happened in the manga. That's the only thing that was canon.
What part was again filler then? Because
It's
the combat part happened, so.
besides the combat and going to the Grand Line, the rest was filler.
But what was it? I don't remember what else was
It
filler.
was the Apis arc with the like dragon and like Eric the
All
gray
right, the
man.
whole dragon thing in the battleship island, right?
The Okama food. No.
And so from the what did we do? We came to the calm belt. What did we do next? Just head over to the fucking red line.
No, we were going to the Grand Line. We went to the Reverse Mountain. It was such a cool moment too, where they went up the mountain and then it's like, and it's where I realized that One Piece is a really good adventure show because a lot of anime that have adventure as a genre, they tend to focus more on like a goal or like a fight or something. For me, One Piece really focuses on the adventure. It shows us different lands, different like parts of the world, different factions, different cultures,
Politics, all the
politics.
drama.
It feels like a big world, and we're adventuring through it. We're not rushing through it to get to a goal or anything like that. And that was the end of that. That was the end of that because I don't have more to record. Fuck. Just gonna. Wanna see me do the video again?
It just pulls up fucking manga. It pulls up the manga from the internet. It just scrolls through it every minute.
No. I don't want to get fucking destroyed by Susei. No. By fuck. The company's name. The name of the pop.
Yeah, we want to be safe.
Suicha? I don't know. No. I don't want to get fucking destroyed. Thank you very much.
How about you just pull up one of all scenes where we do the co-op?
Yeah, I could do that. Good idea.
So basically we climb up. There was also this whole part, right? Because you say it, right? They do take their times with every fucking adventure and stuff, and you see how they slowly are gonna get there eventually. Because when they were going up the reverse mountain, they were all making their promises and all that. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, that, this, and that, and then once they're on the other side, they start helping this fucking giant whale,
right?
Calming down and shit.
And that was like honestly, like the thing that happened later was so surprising to me, and I think you know what I'm talking about.
The whole fucking reveal about like Lagoon's old pirate crew.
Well, man, I never knew.
Man, it's like to be honest, that doctor is a fucking mystery of all things, right?
He's part of he was part of the Pirate King's crew. They didn't know that at the time.
Just remember that when you pull up our old footage, make sure to mute it too.
It's not
we are talking over.
You're gonna fight that kid.
But yeah, it's like the whole fucking that fucking man, right? He really does. He did that fucking doctor did go through a lot of things. It's crazy. And then, okay, this was also the fucking part where we met Fidel. And first, Fidel was like really just a generic villain.
Hold on. You mean Vivi?
Vivi. No, why did I call it Fidel?
Yeah, I think it's Dragon Ball.
Yeah, Dragon Ball. But yeah, Vivi. Then we meet up with Vivi, which at first was like a fucking generic villain and whatnot. Then somehow she ends up becoming this important character.
I can't really find the stream. Maybe I didn't record it.
I guess you just have to pull it up from YouTube with less frame rate. Oh,
no, fuck that.
Then I guess we just replay this and just keep talking.
Yeah, let's just keep talking. So yeah, we went to the Grand Line, and already things are getting interesting. We have a giant fucking whale in the beginning. We have Old Man Coax was inside the whale with the best trolling moment. I think I showed you that clip or something like that. I think I showed you that clip and convinced you to watch One Piece with that one.
Man, that still is my favorite fucking scene with this man.
It was so fucking funny.
I showed that fucking scene to normies as well, and they were like, "Man, this fucking scene is funny."
It's just.
And there were a lot of.
It never stops too. That's my favorite part.
And it's like there were a lot of scenes I showed to normies. One of the other scenes I showed was the part where Luffy was being explained about the down powder. Creating rain powder, and it's like, Luffy, so it creates rain or something. I don't remember his response, but he was like, and the man was like, he gets it.
So it's a mystery powder.
Finally, he gets it.
He gets it.
And that made them just. That scene made normies just.
By the way, that was filler too. That was really good filler. Yeah, it was filler.
So the anime did some really good stuff with the filler in some cases.
Right.
Yeah, it's like there are a lot of funny scenes with One Piece that it goes on.
Let
Like
me
how
find.
Vivi becomes like it was like the most generic as like villain. I was almost thinking that Vivi would become
They're,
like
they're Team Rocket, you know.
yeah, I was thinking of that. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be Team Rocket for the rest of the show, isn't it? Or for the rest of this arc.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. But man, I think it was so much more interesting. Honestly, the Whiskey Peak arc, really cool, like really good, like in between arc, like such a good build up arc. I loved. My favorite part is definitely like Zoro just taking out 100 enemies. It was
In an
such a
island,
badass moment.
in an island that was filled with all of these mercenaries that killed all the other
Honestly,
pirates.
we were all expecting it to be a trap, right?
Yeah, but it's like
But then you
it's
also
just
see like the gravestones on like the cactus like fucking mountains. Like Jesus Christ, they killed all the inhabitants to take it over for their own, make it their own base.
I thought it was the pirates that they killed. No, I thought the whole fucking island was filled with mercenaries.
Oh, you don't know.
No,
That's the best part about it.
I guess I fucking didn't read that part right from the sub. So
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? That's what's fun
whatever
about
it
it.
was, like you said, a whole fucking gravestone put onto the mountain to make it look like a cactus. Fucking crazy, ain't it?
Oh man, it's just such a cool moment. And then you have to fight with like Luffy versus Zoro, and like someone pointed out that like it doesn't really make too much sense for those two to be fighting, even if like Luffy should just believe in Zoro anyway, right? Even though he's like sees the place caught up, and it's like yeah, like it's like nah, okay, well I'm pretty sure Zoro killed all of them because he didn't like the food or something like that. It's like.
Oh, I
I think someone pointed out that might have been a decision of the editors. Like, hey, make Luffy and Zoro fight. Come on, do it. The fight itself was pretty cool, though. My favorite part is just like how they're fucking. My favorite part is like Zoro like is asked for help from like one of the people of like that like attacked him because apparently they were undercover. Vivi was an undercover princess, and he asked Zoro for help. And then like Nami is like, hey, that sounds interesting. Are you gonna pay us? So help them. What? Why should I help you? Like I'll help them. Help you by helping them. Well, you owe me money, but I gave it all to you back. Yeah, but not with interest.
After that,
Fuck.
like literally everybody was so fucking in debt to fucking Nami, I guess. In that
My
part.
favorite part is just like, I hope you die a horrible death, you bitch. Thank you. It's okay. As long as I get my money. And then Zoro got a fucking booger that exploded because and two of the officer agents like number 5 and like what's it, Miss Wednesday was
Yeah.
it
No,
it was Miss Friday. Miss Friday? It was Miss Friday, I think.
I would remember those names. It's like all I
And
know
they
is
appeared as like very powerful characters. And then while Zoro and Luffy were fighting, those two were trying to fight them. It's like, nah, fuck you. You're in the way. Get out. They were just afterthoughts.
really
Even
were.
while like this woman, Miss Friday was like explaining how her ability works, so I was just ignoring her and talking to Luffy.
I remember like fucking Zoro cutting down the fucking like booger in half, right? And I was like, man, oh no, I fucking cut a booger in half.
Yeah, it's like,
I make my
Gah!
sword dirty. It's like you couldn't even care about the exploding fucking booger.
And then afterwards, like when we get the explanation of Vivi that like one of the Shichibukai is planning to start a war in her country, for some reason, and he's the leader of the organization, and he can't talk about. He's like, no, I can't tell you his name, or else you'll get hunted down by him too. No, listen, he's a very dangerous man. He's one of the Shichibukai with a bounty of 80 million. The crocodile, and then it's like Miss 13, Miss 13 and Friday, Miss Friday, those two were like the unlockies that like report basically everything. And I was like, we're there. Well, she said the name. It's like, now you fucking said the name, you fucking stupid bitch!
And the fucking what was it, Mr. 13 was it?
Yeah, Mr. 13 and Miss Friday.
Yeah, oh, I get it.
And then like
Friday
now
the
he was like fucking crying of things like Luffy's like, so we're like, oh man, we're getting immediately to fight against the Shichibukai. I'm excited. Shut up, you two! And I was about to leave. And like she comes across like fucking Mr. 13 and Miss Friday, who were like drew portraits of all those three. And it's like, oh, what a nice drawing! Now we can't leave either!
Yeah, that was the part I was thinking of. It's like they started, it's just, he was there, started drawing the portraits and everything. It was fucking beautiful.
And then like Vivi's like, I got like 800,000 in savings. If you want that, please cheer up. But honestly, then like that's one of the funny moments. It got into a very dramatic moment where like the trumpet guy, what was his name? The guy that like was with Vivi. He uh he went on the ship and went as a distraction and immediately got fucking blown to bits. It was such a cool moment in the anime because everything goes silent and you see like these fucking hundreds of hands and then boom. It was so cool. It was so dramatic too. It was like holy shit. And then you see Robin for the first time appearing with his threatening aura.
Really mysterious and scary, and all of these hands, and Sanji's
And
on
you
the
don't even
floor
know what she's
just,
trying to do. Like she might want to help you, maybe she doesn't want to help you.
yeah. She also had the code name Miss All Sunday.
And already I want to continue watching just to see who this character is because she's so interesting.
And it's not because of the boobs or the amazing body she has, no, and it's
No.
absolutely not.
So let's talk about it for a bit. Like Dami's skin at the time was brown. Or no, not Dami. Robin was brown in the anime. In the manga, it was always supposed to be white, but you know how the manga, like when they animate things, they don't always know what the color scheme is of everything, so they call it Robin brown. And you know what? I like it better brown. I like her. She looks better when she's brown with a tan and everything. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
I did like the 10th version, but I
I
don't
like.
mind her being back to the manga colors, basically.
I don't mind, I guess, but I kind of like the original art style, original design a bit more. But that's
Well,
besides the point.
as like, I also didn't like what they did with like Sanji's brothers, but that's another story, like you said.
Anyway, fuck, I am hungry right now. Oi, oi, oi. I'm actually legitimately really fucking hungry.
Well, might as well eat like a cook fruit so you can cook yourself some food.
I'm thinking about maybe we should just eat on stream. But that's legal.
So, what's next? I think we basically headed to the little garden next, right?
Yeah, then we have the little guard. You know what? And we're gonna let you talk for a bit
So we're
about
gonna
little
go and
guard.
pick up.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat something real quick. Like I'm gonna eat some chips or something to
Yeah, sure
distract the
thing.
hunger.
Try and think as much as I can about Little Garden and move on from there. But yeah, so so they ended up going to Little Garden, and I think it was Miss All Sunday that started off telling us to go to Little Garden. I don't remember the reason why they had to go there. Maybe it's because just because. No, they probably no. I think they got a new compass as well at some a certain place, which they needed for the Grand Line. The Grand Line is such a fucking messed up place. You need a special compass that tells you which direction to go. And so they ended up going to the little garden because the compass said so. And there, I guess they just I don't remember if they right off the bat met the fucking giants and shit, but basically it was like an introduction to Mr. Free, right? Mr. Free, and the giants of giants and all that. And I just don't remember much of the details. It was a fun arc and all. Jesse could probably tell you more about maybe the character developments and whatnot. But there was some more mystery going on, some more reasons. Two giants were fighting each other for an age-old hunt because the two of them wanted to prove that they got the best fucking meat, and so they were fighting for forever. And they ended up like, and it was all just why did Mister Free want to kill the giants? This is a really fucking interesting question. There are a lot of things. It's been so long since I've fucking seen them, and I didn't watch One Piece like 3 times, like Jess sadly. So I don't know some of these fucking questions. But what else happened? I think Jess, did you hear all of it?
What did I hear?
You hear all of my talk about the fucking thing,
No.
Little Garden?
I'll
So
get
like,
him.
why did Mister Free again like go wanted the Titans dead or the Giants dead?
There has 100 million bounty.
Ah, oh, this bounty reason. Nice. And then somehow we get to learn some of these little things.
Hmm.
Jesus Christ! At least mute your mic when you try to open these things, or put them up that next close to the mic. Oh, naruhodo. So I'm talking to some nobody. I see. That makes sense. All right then. So yeah, in the meantime, so at some point they were like the three characters Nami, Vivi, and like Zoro were captured by Mister Free. Sanji was just somewhere off on the island, just doing some shit, and basically Usopp and Luffy were just running around, getting attacked by Mister Five, and Miss Friday. No, not Miss Friday. The heavy fruit, and it's like no, Luffy was no. It was first the giants were going to fight. Were going to fight. No, the one of the giants got captured by Mister Free as well, and Nami, Vivi, and Zoro were there talking to that guy. And then Mister Free came around, fucking captured the giant, captured those three, put them onto a fucking cannonball for Zoro to do cool poses before he dies. And and Luffy and I guess they were invited by the by Miss Luffy was invited by Mister Free to go there. But then the giant said, "No, Luffy, this is my fight. You're gonna stay under this fucking rock because I said so." And then he puts Luffy underneath that rock so he couldn't escape. And so they were just trying to get, and then fucking Mister Five and the women come around just fucking up their days, and they somehow win. Don't remember how they won, but they did. And Sanji was just doing his own thing and came across the hut from like Mister Free, with the snail that was connected to Crocodile, and he then started talking to Crocodile about like killing Luffy and shit. And so Sanji, and then he followed up by killing like the unluckies too. Like those guys came out of nowhere trying to kill Sanji, and they just fucking died.
No, I think it's more that Unlock is always on someone's ass when Crocodile is thinking of something. Weet je wat het also was?
What
Crocodile
was it?
heard that and it's like, what was that? Oh, one of them was still alive, so I just killed him. And Crocodile actually sent Mr. 2 to assassinate Mr. 3 because he was starting to think that Mr. 3 might be a traitor.
Who was Mister Two then? Because
Yeah,
Mister
Bon
Three
Clay.
was the candle.
Bon Clay.
Right. Bon Clay. And then who was Mister Four? Was Mister Four the booger guy? No, right? No.
No, Mr. 5 is the booger guy. Mr. 4 is like the fat guy with the baseball bat.
All right. He's later. He's far later.
Mm-hmm. Wat mute the mic. Crunching noise is ASMR.
It's not nothing bad with the crunching noises as long as you didn't open them back next to the fucking mic.
You like this?
It hurts my ears, but I remember you fucking cringing about it.
And also, it's rude to eat on stream, It's unprofessional.
You said it to all the thoughts on the internet. In any case,
see, I'm a guy. A girl
Right.
eating on stream is a blessing. You don't understand this, Dennis.
I guess you're right. So yeah, it's like Mr. Free then decided to make a whole armor, then gets defeated by Luffy somehow. I guess that's right. And then the Mr. Free also had like his fucking female companion, which when putting the dye onto your back makes you do certain behaviors like Luffy loving this green tea. This green tea is so delicious, and all that. And so after they won that fight, like they get out of like little garden. Nami seems to be bit by like an insect, or at least she felt like she got bit. Mike. All right. Yeah, we knew that later.
Later, she got yeah.
But yeah, they got out of this fucking mess, and then once they were on their way to like get to the next island, they met Bon Clay, which showed off all of his wonderful powers and became a really good friend with the One Piece crew. Funny, ain't it?
Sorry about that. I was really fucking hungry. Jeez.
So at least silences hunger by eating some chips.
Mm-hmm. I mean, nobody gets so hungry here, like at this time, but it's more like talking here costs energy.
Bon Clay was mad, and everybody liked him. But after they figured out, wait a second, that's Mister Two. Holy shit!
That happens after the Dwam arc.
When did they meet Mister Two?
After the Dwam arc.
I mean the island where they met Chopper.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, then they just went straight to the drum mark, I guess.
Yeah, no, what happened is that they saw a man standing on the water. Like, what the fuck? Jesus?
Wait, they just fucking met a rhino, right?
Well,
10 meters away.
No. He was standing on top of a ship because, like, Woppel's ship was on the water. And then the ship from Woppel went up, and then Woppel appears. Tries to eat like Luffy's ship.
Right.
Without giving a single fuck, Luffy and his fans just fucking beat him up.
The fucking guy that can stop people. That's the guy we're talking about, right?
The guy that can eat people.
Eat people? What the stop for, though?
That was Foxy. That's like way later.
Way later. Oh, no. Now I'm fucking thinking.
Right. About
Sorry,
it's just, the guy that eats ships.
You want to know why I thought of Foxy? It's because he looks so much like Wario that I just have the imagination that if Wario can eat ship, everybody that looks like him can eat ships. Because Wario can.
So you're saying that Wop was actually Wario? What if their names start with Wa? Coincidence? I think not.
They met the fucking king of the last island. I see. Oh yeah, like I said, I don't have that much of a good memory of One Piece. It's like
you don't have a good memory in general, to be honest.
Unless I need to remember something funny.
Actually, you need to remember something that's inconvenient to me. Or very detailed, but not always useful information. Like, hey, I know that in Final Fantasy VI, if you go into that one corner over there and you type in "fuck you," you get this special item. How the fuck do you still know that?
What was it that what game was it that I did actually do that? Unless you're talking about Platinum, because there's a difference.
It happens occasionally when we're playing like Final Fantasy games, or when I play a blind game and you know the game.
Right.
You tell me, hey Jesse, go over here. It's like, how do you remember that? Anyway, so I went to Dwam Island because, now we got sick and Dwam was known for its doctors. But as we arrived there, it seems that all the doctors have already left the country. Not only that, but we got attacked because the people there were already attacked by pirates, namely the Blackbeard pirates. This is the first time we heard of them. Huh. Which obviously is interesting because Blackbeard always, has a history here, obviously, in real life. So, yeah, it's a real life thing, or a well-known kind of character in pirates franchises.
Oh man, Blackbeard apparently in real life feels really funny.
I still have not watched the Mad Lads video, unfortunately. Man,
you should watch it. It's fucking amazing.
I really want to though.
The whole backstory of Blackbeard is fucking amazing.
So
I'm not gonna say anything about Blackbeard's real life story. Anyway, so the Blackbeard was actually in the Drum Islands, which is another foreshadowing to the future.
And then we see Luffy learning diplomacy because Luffy was about to fucking beat the shit out of people because Vivi got shot in the shoulder. But Vivi tells him off and says, no, you can't solve everything that way. Vivi bows down and just asks for help and shit, and Luffy does the same. And Luffy basically... I think Luffy learns mainly because Vivi tells him that he's a failure as a captain if he does that shit. And I think Luffy does care about that to a certain extent.
Yeah.
So, he learns diplomacy. And you see in later arcs as well that he didn't forget this at all either, right? Like, there are plenty of times where Luffy shows diplomacy over, like, fighting because he got angry or something like that, right?
Yeah.
What's next?
I guess there's still after Wappon got shot away, we end up in the Drum Island, and then from there, I guess we're looking.
We learn its culture. We learn that we see what it is about. Kind of hear about the backstory.
We learn that there's no fucking doctor here except at the top of the
except some bitch on top of the fucking mountains that may or may not come whenever she feels like. So Sanji and Luffy took Nami, and Sanji went with him, and they tried to go up the mountain while fucking snow rabbit bear thingies tried to attack them.
Oh, those guys, you know what, Jess? It's like every fucking anime probably needs some vicious rabbits in some form or fashion.
I know, right? Jesus Christ. But at least they were not like these little rabbits. By the way, Zero's gonna come out in like what 3 days?
I guess.
I'm excited.
And so yeah, it's like the rabbits beat the shit out of them, and Luffy somehow gets on top of the mountain, and it was like probably the most grueling fucking like climb that I've
Dude,
seen,
that
man.
climb, that was such a awesome moment. I was like, wow, what the fuck, man. Luffy is the
Yes,
realest
he's
person.
holding on to two people, followed up by like climbing a cold ass mountain barefooted and barehanded, with no tools and just bleeding, because you know how fucking painful it is and whatnot.
Right?
And he gets on the top of it,
Like, I
and
think what makes it amazing is that unlike things like, oh, someone's so strong that if he punches, he fucking blows the planet up, It's different from that. It's more like, you can imagine just climbing the mountain yourself and knowing that pain. You can kind of imagine that pain and shit. And Luffy went through all of that and did it anyway.
man, it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, it's like I never fucking mountain climbed, but man, it's like I can imagine alone. It's like how painful that must have been. In this cold ass weather, with naked hands and bare legs, it's fucking crazy. No tools either. And then he like gets on top of the mountain. If it wasn't for fucking, if it just wasn't for like Chopper being on top of the mountain, just happened to be on that side,
yeah, man.
Luffy would have fallen to his death.
It was, it was a dramatic moment.
Yeah,
Then we meet Chopper and Kureha and as well. And we'll get some funny moments here and there. And we learn about Chopper, like the person that's considered a monster, but he was a reindeer with a blue nose that got ostracized by his fellow reindeers because of the blue nose. Then he one day ate the Hito no Mi, the human food, and turned into a reindeer man deer.
is this like was this explained by the old woman because
Yeah,
right away,
yeah. The old
basically?
woman tells Nami this basically.
Right.
And man, Chopper's backstory, when I look back at it, it was one of the. It actually. When I was playing Pirate Warriors 3 and I was recording it, I was thinking of the backstory and actually fucking quite thinking of it.
Man, it's like I rewatched that scene. I rewatched that scene not too long ago, and I was like, man, when you hear Chopper just say, "Don't die, Doctor," that's when I fucking teared up because it's such a beautiful fucking scene.
There's so many things about this backstory. At first, honestly, I think it's for Chopper. It's like being so different that everyone like you don't really belong anywhere, and everyone also spies you. And then finally, there's this one guy. He's a bit crazy too, but he's the guy that basically helps you. But it was really weird though. In the manga, Doctor Hillock was like made very different. It was really weird. Like in the anime, he's like seen as sympathetic. Like they're out hunting for doctors such. Hillock is not really a good doctor, but he tries his best. But in the manga, he's a fucking lunatic. Like
Well,
he burns down someone's house, takes their money, and goes, "Man, you don't even have that much money, Jesus." Like what the
well,
fuck?
he was. We already knew. At least we already knew that like he was a lunatic, but we didn't knew he was this type of lunatic in the manga.
Yeah, yeah, but that's why a lot of people just go, yeah, like ignore the manga, just like look at the anime and like the movie version of the Chopper's backstory. Because the rest of Hero Luke like is fine, right? Like Hero Luke is a great character. Besides that,
These moments, because there's some of the other moments still happen in the manga,
yeah,
right? Like
oh
don't
man,
die, Doctor, or the Doctor just fucking killing
no,
himself on top of the mountain.
I think Doctor is like poisoned. He's gonna die no matter what, and he to make sure that Chopper doesn't see him die. He like pretends to not be friends with Chopper anymore, and like does the same things that like all the humans did to him. That ostracized like Chopper. He even shot at him so that Chopper would stay away and not see him die. And Chopper starts to learn from a conversation between him and Dr. Kureha that he was poisoned, and Chopper went out of his way. He fought so hard to get like the one thing that he thought was medicine for his illness, right? He fought the
Yeah.
other Rendiers. He actually won against the Rendier boss that like fucking ostracized him. He went back with so much pain, and all to get his medicine. That already gave me the feels. But later down the road, when he realizes, thanks to Dr. Kara, that he actually made it so that Dr. Hillock would die from the poison that day because of, he had a poisonous mushroom that he thought was medicine. That was like, wow, fuck, yeah,
Oh,
that's Jesus.
The
And
doctor was like, "Man, this kid brought me poisonous mushrooms, thinking that it would save me. The poor innocent sap didn't know, but I can't say no to the medicine he brought with like blood and
yeah,
sweat."
it's gonna die anyway. Might as well make Chopper happy, you know.
Yeah,
Because he used to want to taught Chopper how to doctor. And now Chopper is finally doctoring.
like that rap always tells us.
Yeah. So anyway, um, they have Wappo, who was actually the king of Dwan Island, who fled because of the Blackbeard pirates. You know, he's a fucking piece of fucking bitch. He like exiled all of the doctors and only kept 21 in the country, and he kept those for himself as his personal squad. And
Piece of shit.
he is kind of dumb, but Huluk is also not very smart. So he basically Wappo basically sent the news that Ishi-21, the doctors, are sick. So Huluk comes to like cure them, right? Because he values his job as a doctor, even if it means risking his own life.
Right.
Only to go up there and like it's a lie all along. And he wasn't even like sad about it. He was happy because it means that they are okay. And you see Danton. He is like the knight basically. He was more fond of the former king. You know the father of Wappo. And Wappo on the other hand, he thinks he's a fucking dumbass. But he can't really. He's not strong enough to fight against Wappo. You know.
Right.
So at that moment then the music came in and Huluk said things like everything can be cured. And this country, and then Danton asked this country too. It's like, yes, even this country kind of thing. But my favorite part is definitely that's music. And then he goes, "Yo, when do you think people die? When a bullet pierces their hearts? When they drink poison? When they drink soup with a poisonous mushroom? No, people die when they are forgotten." And then it's like, man, what a great life this has been. And then he blows himself up so that the poison Chopper gave him doesn't kill him. That's not Chopper's fault. I thought that was like, man,
Modern Chad. A crazy Chad. What a Chad.
my God. Then Chopper like made the goal to become a doctor that can cure anything and worked on the Dr. Kureha. It was such an amazing backstory.
It really is.
And honestly, like it works well into this story as well. Now, Wappo is kind of like it's like a villain that's just kind of there to be a villain, and that's fine. I don't think every villain has to be like a major great villain character. Sometimes you need a villain that's just kind of
and clear giving backstory, and not all villains needs to be
So
like that.
now sometimes the point of the arc is not the villain. The point of the arc is the problems that Chopper faces as a character and like the country faces as
Yeah.
The story about how a stupid king can ruin a country basically.
Mm-hmm.
That fight was all okay. Chopper has like 7 level 20, but like you see that Chopper is actually not really dumb either. He's pretty talented as a doctor and also knows how to make Twaktu, and hence his Zoe and Devilfoot ability. Because Luffy wanted him to join because he's a cool monster.
And Sanji wanted him there to be because he's emergency food.
He's Paimon, what can I say? That whole moment where Luffy stretches and Chopper's like, what is he? He can stretch, and Sanji just says with this fucking cocky smile, he's a monster.
I know that, like in the case of I could have sworn that Luffy was also there listening to like his backstory and all that, right?
I don't know. They were not
Either him or
listening.
Sanji. One of the two were there to listen to the backstory at the end. Not only Nami.
And my favorite part, and then at the end where Chopper is like, I can't join you. I mean, I'm a Wendy and I have a blue nose, and like, I like the story is basically just how Chopper feels so alone and like alienated and everything. And now finally found like people that are like basically accepted. It's like, hey, we're all crazy, okay? We're all stupid monsters or other weird kind of people. Yeah, that's fine. So shut up and go with us. And then you have the end where Dr. Hiluluk's like project to heal the country because he was. When he says he was healed, it was because he was a thief at first. He was a bad person at first, and then he saw the Sakura trees, and he thought it was so beautiful that he stopped his evil ways, and he decided to. He thought that he could do the same thing by having a similar thing in the country, and like then Dr. Carrera like basically just makes it happen while Chopper leaves as a goodbye gift. It was such an amazing moment. And then we can finally do the Alabasta arc, the big arc.
First, we have to meet Mr. Two.
Oh yeah, and that's also really a genius thing. It's like you already see what his ability is to like copy someone's image basically.
Yeah.
What I like about it though is that how the characters dealt with it, because normally you always have that kind of thing where they like to make sure they can identify each other. But I find genius today that Oda just comes with a double mark, mark, so that they will think that they will identify each other with the white what was it, white
bandage.
Yeah, bandages. But underneath it's the mark underneath that's important. And honestly, I think we should keep it short for more arcs, because we literally have we have less than an hour.
I swear to God, there will be a part 2. I'm gonna make it.
Chapter 2000, part 2.
Where we're gonna continue with the last talk we left off with.
I might as well do that. Won't be such a long series. We can talk about this show for hours.
Honestly, I don't think it's any bad idea if we continue this next week to finish it off, really, or the week afterwards.
Because honestly, with the rate we're going, we probably have to make it 3 parts.
I don't know about you. I don't see it any bad thing. I love One Piece. Talking about is any bad thing.
Let's just talk about it when we can. So basically, let's go to Alabasta. Already, Alabasta is a perfect example of a good One Piece arc. I think it's it does everything. It does everything that One Piece is supposed to do, right? It introduces you to the island. You basically get an idea of how the culture is. You know what kind of island it is. You know what the problems is that the island faces, and you have a bunch of build up before it, so that things are interesting, and things that happen make sense because you already have had the build up for it. Crocodile is seen as a hero in this country because he shows up and saves people from pirates before the army can do. The king is actually a nice person, but it's just not a lot he can do. And the biggest problem is that there's no rain in Alabasta. Because of that, because of the drought, a lot of problems have showed up. So the rebellion thinks that it was the king that took the rain away with dense powder, because dense powder creates basically takes the clouds of nearby areas to create rain clouds. But because of that, nearby areas will not have rain. They thought that because the king, Cobra, he made it rain in Alaburna, the capital, he took the clouds away from all the other places in Alabasta to make so people think that he's taking all of the rain away from the other people. And that's why the rebellion exists, but obviously it's all a setup.
Right. That was just we started off with this arc with the walrus turtles, right? Were those also part of the filler?
No, that's for later. They were not filler, but those were later. We actually started off with
really?
before they left, after they left Drum, actually there was one guy. One guy was looking for Luffy. He had this fucking dapper black coat, and he had a red hood. Red hood. No, a red hat. An orange hat. And it's I'm looking for this man. If you haven't seen Blackbeard, have you seen my brother? Oh, was he recently? Well, I'm looking for him. Oh no. I didn't see Luffy yet. That was before Luffy came in. And I forgot to mention this guy looking for Luffy. Give Luffy this message. I'm looking for him. Now, we basically are preparing for our trip in the desert, right? In Alabasta. We're buying clothes, we're buying necessary products and such.
Giving dancing care to the women.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Getting this perfume that is...
Chopper cannot stand the heat, and also not the perfume.
That was given to the woman.
And then Nami just fucking just went did even more perfume just to troll him. I think I'm not sure if that was an anime only thing, but what I do remember when the anime happens that Luffy went out for food because he was fucking hungry as fuck. I love that moment because that's when we met Ace, and Ace was the person looking for Luffy in Dwan. He's also the person chasing after Blackbeard. So, Ace was just in the restaurant. Everyone thought he was dead, but he was actually just asleep, and then he woke up and then he just ate food. my favorite part is that the Smoker came in, because Smoker is also in Alabasta looking for like Luffy and such, right?
Right.
And he like Smoker saw Ace and he's challenging Ace. The two look at each other with intimidating eyes. And then Luffy just fucking barges in because he wants food, and he fucking knocks Smoker and Ace away into like through a bunch of buildings. And while Luffy's eating, you just see the owner going, "Hey, shouldn't you be worried about something? What are you talking about?" Well, he like points at the holes he made in the wall, and Luffy's like, "Why are the holes in your wall? Is that your hobby or something, oh son? You did that!" And I love how Luffy is eating while like Smoker is just standing in front of him. And Luffy just keeps eating, trying to figure out who the fuck is this guy. Oh right, Smoker. And then he runs away.
And then like fucking Ace runs after the two, basically.
Oh man. And then we see that Luffy has a brother, which was surprising to me, honestly. Like,
actually, I think it was for a lot of people because you don't. It was never hinted that Luffy would have a brother. Heck, his backstory never told you about the fact that he has a brother.
Hey, you don't even know. Well, you don't know anything about his family, in fact.
Yeah, it's like all you know is, oh look, he knows about Shanks, which we see right now on screen again.
Right.
And that's about it. That's all we know about his past. It's like he has Shanks, he has this fucking
Funny
island
enough,
where he met these other
Sabo has
people,
already been hinted in his since Ace's introduction. Do you know why?
Hmm?
He has a tattoo on his arm.
It was already hinted.
Sabo, his existence.
Sabo.
You know why?
Why?
You have the tattoo on Ace's arm, right? That says that's like ASC. That's another letter. But S for Sabo, and he crossed Sabo S. He crossed the S out.
Huh. And the other one are of course Ace and Luffy then? Or
Yeah.
no, wait, there's ASC you say. So
I think it was his name Ace, and then it was S, and then S was crossed out or something. I don't really remember, but yeah, that was a hint already.
yeah,
But we also get more like information about things like Whitebeard being a great pirate and such like that, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, we see this fight. It's like Ace is fire, Smoker is smoke. They fight. Ace decided not to use hockey because it's like, I don't feel like it today.
No, it's too strong for this arc. We can't have that.
Right.
And then he like destroys a whole bunch of marine ships, and they make her get away.
Right. He gets a bunch of fangirls,
Yeah.
And then everyone is so happy to finally see that Luffy has such a good older brother.
So for how long was Ace actually going along with them? Because I do remember him staying longer than I thought, right?
In the anime, he stayed. It was more filler in the anime where he stayed longer. In the manga, he basically just went away. So, like right, I think like I'm not sure. Right after the walrus turtle thingies. He went away like right after that. And he gave like Luffy like this paper. And it's like, yeah, you'll be able to meet me once again with the paper. Okay, it's just a blank paper, but okay.
Well, also the craziest thing, and then you have these fucking soul cards that basically just.
Yeah, we didn't know anything about FIFA cards until. What?
Actually,
yeah, until Thriller Bark. Until Thriller Bark, we never knew what the FIFA card was.
No, it was actually I thought the bus was basically introduction, and I guess Thriller Bark basically just went deeper into it. How much deeper?
No, they never said. Ace never told us what the card was. He just said, "Hey, with this you can fight me again one day." Okay.
Right then.
Oh, if you say so. Then I traveled through the desert, and we already, we like. Well, like what One Piece said, where I said it's really good at focusing on adventure. We get to learn how dangerous the desert is in One Piece. We get. We understand more what is going on in the country. We see like a destroyed village and everything due to sandstorms and everything like that. And we see like this old man, who's the only old man in like a certain village, like trying to dig up an oasis. Like working as hard as possible, giving Luffy water. Which was important later, and then, as we traveled along, we learned more about what we need to do in this country. And like the first step was, first idea was just taking out Crocodile, I think. No, was it later? No, maybe it was later. No, it was later. Where Vivi wanted to stop the rebellion at all costs, and they were like chasing after the rebellion. Luffy's like, no, I'm done. Fuck this shit. Vivi, I just want to beat Crocodile. And we see again that Luffy is not just like any shonen protagonist. He just goes along with like whatever everyone else wants. He has his own ideas, and he knows exactly what to do at the right moment. And he knows that like Crocodile needs to be defeated, and people are gonna die no matter what in the war. That's just the fact of life. Not much you can do about it. After
It looked...
punching Vivi in the face.
No, but Fifi punched Luffy a lot too. Let's be
Yeah,
real
but
here.
yeah, but normally that's normally that's fine. But like Luffy, like holy shit, like Luffy punches a woman in the face. You can't do that. What the fuck? Gender
Yeah.
equality, motherfuckers, is what Luffy said. Unlike
No,
Sanji.
he never. No, he doesn't get what gender equality is. He just punched him because why should I care?
Anyway, but it's like you can't win. You can't do anything if you only sacrifice your own. Like if you only risk your own life. And then when she asked like whose life to risk, she says like risk our lives too. We're your friends. And then we just like that. Yeah, we need to defeat Crocodile because he's the one behind this. And if we don't defeat him, if we defeat him first, it's way easier to like stop all of this shit.
Yeah.
So we went after Crocodile's base in the rain. What was called Rain Base, where where Crocodile's casino was at and everything. And Smoke was there too. We were also like chasing after them. We went to do the VIP room because now it was like the choice between the VIP room and the pirates room or something. And it's like, well,
And the idiots are like, no, wait, we're not VIP. We are pirates. Let's go to the pirate room. Like fucking idiots. To be honest, I think
Smoker just
either
chased after them too. It's like, wait a minute.
to be honest, I think both would be traps. Let's be real here.
And we also learned about Sea Stone, by the way. Like, so the first time we got trapped, and we learned about Sea Stone for the first time, I think. Now we did know about Sea Stone before, maybe. This is the first time we really understood what it was.
Smoker's pool,
Yeah.
pole arm is from
Well,
Sea
he was the
Stone.
one. He was the one that explained Sea Stone.
It's just we see it more utilized now, a lot more.
Yeah.
With Sea Stone handcuffs, Sea Stone jails, a lot of fucking Sea Stone stuff.
In the meantime, like Chopper and Sanji were out, and my favorite part was just. No, wait. I think Chopper. What was it? Did Chopper? No, Chopper escaped, didn't he?
No, I think Chopper
no,
was.
Chopper was a distraction. Chopper distracted like others.
No, he was with Sanji, and so he was another. He was.
Yeah, he was with Sanji. And then like, well, Crocodile's explaining his plan, and it's like letting Vivi fight a giant crocodile who ate like the key to the jail room. Oh yeah, before that was like a conversation as well. It was like Crocodile had like a meeting with like his commanding officers of Baroque Works for the first time.
Wasn't this also where like Mr. Two was like, wait a second, I know these guys.
Yeah, basically. There was also Mr. Three who basically said, who talked about like what happened, and Crocodile's like, wait, didn't you say you killed these guys? Huh?
Did I?
What are you talking about? And Crocodile was so angry at Mr. Three because he only gave him Mr. Three as title because of his intelligence. And now he failed him, and he sucked Mr. Three dry for a little bit before throwing into the water and letting him get eaten by a crocodile. Or an alligator. It's an alligator, my bad. You would think it's a crocodile, but no.
It's funny. I was like, it's funny actually, because he has the sand powers, but somehow his sand can drain the water out of somebody else's body, which is an interesting power actually.
Yeah. Not only can he drain the sand, but he can also decay like other things.
Yeah, I never thought that he would be able. I wouldn't think for one that he would do it, but look at him. He's doing it.
And then he like leaves. Like he was about to leave while the crocodile was like fighting against Fifi. He gets a call. Hello, it's Shitty Restaurant. Who is this? Mr. Prince. Oh man, that was such a cool moment. Like Sanji's Sanji's also a bit of a tactician, which also makes him different from like a different kind of badass. It's just like he has tactics.
Yeah.
And just the moment when he just fucking comes up with like the anti-mana table kick course. anti-mana kick course. And fucking kicks a crocodile up into the fucking sky. That was such a cool moment.
Just beats the shit out of the alligator, and
then Mr. Three shows up because he was in a wax ball. He like managed to save himself.
And and helps him out making key against the sea stone cell and all that.
Right? It was like, and
then it wasn't. Yeah. Was this the part where Smoker was like, I guess I have to rely on the fucking straw heads? Was it later?
Smoker, like there was a lot of water, so Devil Fruit users had to be safe, right? By the ones that didn't have Devil Fruit. And Luffy told Zoro to save Smoker as well. Captain's orders.
Mm-hmm.
And then Smoker was like, you know what? Tashigi, I'm letting you like control the situation. I'm letting you decide what to do.
It's a very interesting choice. I guess Maybe
And maybe
like
Smoker wanted to teach her about, using her own
making the
sense
right
of
decision.
judgment.
Yeah.
Anyway, besides that, we finally get to the they head over to the main capital because that's where like the shit's going to go down. Crocodile tries to take the princess, but like Luffy takes Vivi's place and fights Crocodile. And man, it was a hopeless fight.
No,
I always
exactly.
thought Loki had type Devil Fruits for bullshit. It's like, oh yeah, of course he has scent powers. Oh no, Luffy can't hit him. Oh wow. I was like, fuck you,
Yeah.
Crocodile.
It was just basically a show of Luffy has to do something else to beat this fucker. Otherwise, he doesn't stand a chance.
Man, and then yeah, you see also the difference between the forked stop and the fucking like Japanese stop is like, man. The scent is the desert is a convenient place for a coffin. You can easily like find a place for like someone's body to bury someone's body, and then like in the English stop is like, oh, that's a very accurate description, Luffy. You're about to become desert doo doo.
That's a dude. Look how funny are you.
And then, my favorite moment was though when Luffy got impaled. Like holy shit! Like there was the silent music. There's no music. The silence, and Crocodile's going, "Who the hell do you think you are? You're just
I
a
think
Wookiee. There are many Wookiees like you, Mugiwara, Mugiwara."
was it. This was
And
all
then they have
like
to fork it stop. I will win by hook or by crook. It's like, oh my fucking god.
honestly, there
And he
was
gave
one more
Luffy a
problem.
veggie. He didn't even impale Luffy. He gave him a veggie.
God damn it. But no, there are more problems. Like besides the wedgie, right? There are more problems with the fucking
And
forked
it's
stuff.
also the fact that there's no silence at all. There's no silence for a dramatic
Yes,
moment.
there's always a music playing. Heck, everybody has their own fucking teams, and so whenever somebody talks, the team has to fucking change.
Right?
It's like you can see this with like the fucking 4Kid stuff for Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, which I fucking watched as a guilty pleasure on YouTube. And it's like literally whenever somebody fucking talks, there needs to be a different team playing for the mood of that scene, right?
Ugh.
It's fucking crazy annoying. Which is why I call it a guilty pleasure because it's so fucking terrible. But
Sometimes
funny as
silence is
hell.
just fine, guys.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're gonna watch the 4Kid stuff, always watch small YouTube clips just to laugh at it and then go for the subs.
Anyway, um, so yeah, Luffy like lost against Crocodile, but Crocodile stepped through the like bottle of water, like what is the bottle?
Yeah, it's a
Like
bottle of water.
the bottle of water that like Luffy was carrying from the old guy they met, and he could finally grab Crocodile and like hurt his arm a bit with a grab before Crocodile threw him into like a quicksand.
Before I made him desert doo-doo.
And that's already a nice foreshadowing what was like going to happen, and already Luffy learned from that alone.
Yeah.
And Luffy got saved by Robin of all people, Miss All Sunday.
Hmm. I think the Logia types were like how many Logia types did we fight before the New World?
Honestly, it was Smoker, and yeah, it was the Smokers. Like, oh, okay. I think that
Yeah.
at first like, oh yeah, this guy's lightning, so you can. Oh yeah, and I didn't fight Ace, but Ace was there too. It's like he's fire. No,
No,
okay.
no, there's also of course an L, but yeah, you know what? The Logia types really for a lesson for the One Piece crew to realize we have to find other methods of defeating him until hockey came into play.
Yeah. But sometimes there was just bullshit. Like, how the fuck are you gonna beat fucking smoke? What is weak against smoke? A ventilator?
I found it. I'll just have to. I'll just need the blow fruit, but the
I
blow
know,
arrow
like we're gonna get a fucking
fan fruit.
vacuum. We're gonna get a vacuum cleaner.
We're gonna get a vacuum cleaner. Just Smoker's gonna become the genie in the bottle.
We'll have like a team song called the Smoker Busters. Smoker Busters.
Give
Anyway,
Focus a chance to do
you're gonna become vacuum cleaning doo doo. What? What?
it. In any case,
In any case, you get to the place where like Vivi, like because Vivi is like the leader of the rebellion is actually Vivi's childhood friend, Koza. They had like some kind of like childish fights as children at first, and then they kind of became like a group of friends, and like Koza became kind of the leader of that group of friends. What I really liked was the king like kind of trying to follow Vivi and shit around while he should be inside the palace. And it's like, king, what are you doing outside here?
I'm being a dad. Shut the fuck up.
I'm doing that. Shut the fuck up.
And then you know,
I don't think it also happens with like this that Mr. 2 used to clone food and used like and made like to like appear as Cobra to pretend to be like to spark the fire of the rebellion to kind of go, yeah, I'm evil, motherfuckers. I stole your brain. Fuck you. I'll shoot a child.
God. When
One
did
thing
he
as
get
well
to...
that One Piece shows before like war, you know, the show that war is hell. In the manga especially, because in the anime they kind of cut it off, but like there's this child that wants to join the rebellion because he wants to fight, and Goes is like, listen, there's a problem. You want to fight. We don't want to fight. We do it because we have to. There's a difference. And he like, look at what happened to my friend here. And he shows this other guy who lost his arm. Basically became like a fucking, what should I say, a stick figure of an arm. Like you see like his hands is basically gone. And you see like this whole burn mark up all the way to his shoulder. And it's like, my God, that can be you. Do you understand?
Yeah, war is really hell. Unless you go for that one edit where it is, instead of it like being war, it stopped the fucking.
Please stop the fucking! Please stop fucking!
In any case, so I didn't know. Didn't remember the part where Mister Two became Cobra to spark some more stuff. Was Cobra the king or was he the
He was the
fucking?
king. He was the king.
He was the king, right?
Funny thing is, like, one of the two Guardians spell, the one with the Falcon, actually did come over to Rain Base to fight, but was defeated by Robin because of her Death Foot power being able to like spout hands everywhere.
Yeah, that is a fucking powerful fruit.
Right?
It's like the only person who can win that fight is Luffy because he's from rubber. But then she makes like a nice ribbon of Luffy, and Luffy cannot unknot himself.
Right? Crocodile can also not be defeated because he's sent. He can just go turn into sand.
Yeah.
So anyway, with that said, what more? We have. I guess we have the fight itself. Then, like all the fights against the Baroque Works officers, and they were all pretty good. Like Sop and Chopper versus like Mr. Four and Miss Merry Christmas. That was an interesting fight with like tactics and like overcoming your fears to fight a stronger enemy.
Right. Just look at the fight with that one. Usopp got fucking destroyed.
Also,
like...
it was the first time Funky's team appeared before Funky appeared.
Right, they already planned that shit ahead of time. Funny, ain't it? But in any case, though,
I think it's more that Funky's so awesome that they just made the team after him.
But it's like, man, the whole that fucking fight, right? That just fucking destroyed like Usopp. Every fucking bone in his body.
Right, but he stands up because they left at Luffy's dream.
He really showed how much he was like true to fucking Luffy's dream and how much of a good body he is and shit.
And together with Chopper, they defeated him with like a smart tactic and shit.
So like I said, Chopper got like the least amount of punishment than Usopp, but man.
And he got blown up multiple times, I guess. But Usopp, it's like he was fucking shoved through, like fucking dug through fucking walls.
Concrete. Yeah.
Concrete.
Multiple times, non-stop, but he still kept going.
Yeah. Like even after that fight and being full in bandages, he still keeps going. Then you have like Nami fights for the first time. He like gets the climb attack made by Usopp. And I just love the beginning of it where it's like, such pretty flowers. How the fuck am I supposed to fight with this?
It's basically just a party trick tool, nothing else.
And then it's like, she reads the instructions like, these are all the party tricks. The battle tactics are behind the back page of the page.
Why did he do that?
And I like Nami because Nami is as like with navigation comes like weather predicting, I guess, understanding the weather and such. So Nami uses that knowledge to fight, and it's pretty smart as well and creative. I like the fun thing about Nami's fights is that they're always more about tactics and such, and like I guess in this case was learning how her weapon worked.
Yeah, because how did she beat him after like shooting out some chickens that then like rotate around the woman?
And then she's spinning around and then just fucking shooting her fucking through multiple walls.
For fucking random ass move was that? But in any case, I think that's where like Nami was, man. This climate tech can work actually if I like tell Usopp where to focus.
Her leg was fucked up too by the spikes, but she was like a spike woman.
Yeah. But that's probably the fight where she has now. All right, the climate tech needs some editing. I'm gonna tell Usopp what to do.
Usopp, you fucking dick. Anyway, and then you had Sanji versus like Sanji was first paired up with was he not paired up with who was he paired up with? He was paired up with someone else at first.
I don't remember. I don't. I
But
thought they just came around
Mr. Two
and
was after Vivi, pretending to be Usopp, but Vivi knew that he wasn't Usopp because of the double mark, and he chased after Vivi. Oh yeah, like Usopp and like the camel were fighting against Mr. Two at first, but it lost. So Sanji was like, "Hey, Usopp, help Chopper instead. I will fight Mr. Two." And then like that fight was so cool too, like Mr. Two versus like Sanji, like it was such a cool fight.
yeah. Well, some of the fight that like where they were really even and shit,
Yeah.
and they became comrades afterwards too. Like,
Also Sanji moved like a Dragon Ball Z character at some point. He literally teleported by Mr. Two with like, oh, like, so nothing personal, kid. Hey, nothing personal.
uh,
That was such a cool fight. And then he had like Zoro versus Mr. One, which the fight itself was kind of okay. But what was cool was more so this how like is more the goal like of Zoro achieving to learn like learning how to cut through steel and getting close to death to like get to that point, you know?
yeah.
Because he's technically already been taught how to do it, how to cut anything, but he didn't understand it until he was close to death and could. Basically, it was like his first hockey moment, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
I'd say.
Probably, it probably is. Him learning how to like do it and all that, which
Yeah.
honestly adds more questions to the fucking backstory of this fucking man. Because now we have this master that's just
His
wonderful.
master is probably a hockey user as well. Yes.
Yeah.
So when I think about it, though, like Zoro has gained complete like mastery of his sword, and I guess you could say he got Mr. One just like that. Will you cut for
Yeah.
Diamond next? I don't need to. Waste of time.
He's right because he can't cut through anything anyway.
It's like, well, shit. Fucking top dead. No, he didn't die. No, the dub said he died. That's the Funimation dub. That's the Funimation. That's the Funimation dub that said that he died himself. That they captured him. It's like, oops.
Yeah.
Mistakes.
To be honest, you would think he died, but
Yeah, no, you know, dying in One Piece is a rare occasion. And it happens
like,
sometimes in Wano, and like in that happens now more recently. Now, like every arc, someone dies now. It's a new thing.
now, well, you know, this time we had a small war. You could say this time they're the ones who instigated the war, so I guess there are going to be more people dying.
Anyway,
give me a second. Let me see what my brother's saying.
okay. I'm so tired. Ugh. Maybe I need to eat more, but that'll be later. So anyway, what was happening next? The thing that happens next is that Vivi went up to, I guess Cobra and stuff. Went to her father or something to explain the situation and stuff, but her father was being crucified, kind of. Like his fucking his fucking elbows were nailed to the fucking wall, like Jesus Christ. Because Crocodile's real plan was to find Pluton, one of the 3 ancient weapons that was, yeah. It was all very interesting. So, Cobra, you know, knows what he's talking about and knows where it is, but he's not sure if he, you know, he doesn't really want to give him that information. But he might have. I don't really remember what was it that made him do it, because at some point he was like, "Okay, fine, I'll guide you to the place." I think where you can find out about Pluto, the ancient weapon that can blow up an entire island.
These agent weapons are fucking crazy.
They're interesting. And you know, like if he tried to interfere, it didn't really work. Luffy tried to fight against Crocodile, and actually was doing decently well. He now had a fucking ton of water with him. Like Pell flew him over there.
And he told Pal, "Hey, we need this shit. Let's prepare."
Right? And
it's just,
you know, at first Luffy tried a bunch of things, but eventually, you know, he couldn't do it. Like it wasn't really flexible. It wasn't really flexible with all of the water.
yeah.
Yeah. So like when Crocodile grabbed Luffy, Luffy shot a bunch of waters into the air, and like Crocodile fucking turned Luffy into a mummy, leaving him alone. Again, like a bunch of creating more tension as there's now also a bomb a time bomb that's going to come off in the fucking central that will just blow everything up.
Right.
Now with the water shoe, Luffy shot into the air, went down onto him and revived him basically. Luffy went after Crocodile, but his wound opened again, and then he became a cut unconscious for a bit, with all the blood spilled over him. In the meantime, the rest of the crew was just desperately looking for this fucking bomb.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of back and forth between like dramatic moments that makes this arc so like holy shit, oh my god, we can't like the tension is always high in this arc. Like we finally found the bomb, guys, but it's all the way up there. We only have like 5-10 seconds, so they think of a plan to get up there, stop the two Baroque workers from shooting the cannon shooting the bomb out of the cannon. We finally stopped the thing, but Crocodile planned even for that, as the bomb has a timer of like a few minutes.
The fuck?
And that's when Bell came in, grabbed the bomb, and flew sky high, blowing up with it. He survived though, by the way, don't worry.
Honestly,
when I say that's the only thing I don't really like about this, I think he should have kind of died.
Yeah. Now we know that Pell probably is the most durable thing in this universe.
What? Like the explosion covered the entire sky.
What did he do? Like use Shadow Step right before he let go and then fucking went away?
Don't worry, he had Auto Life on.
Auto Life, he's not a falcon, he's a phoenix.
No, he got the blue magic spell. It's a blue magic.
It's
Did you know that Bell is a blue mage? He can even shoot rockets out of his shoulders.
I thought that was Frankie's thing. Alright then.
Yeah, but Frankie does it because he's a robot. He does it just normally.
He says normally, I see now.
Anyway, then we have the final... we have to talk about the poneglyphs first. And also the Marines helping the Straw Hats. Like, Tashiki deciding that, this country needs help, and we can only do that by cooperating with the Straw Hats. So they did. The first part of the Marines is going to Zoro. Zoro, we know that you suck at directions. You have to go over there, you fucking idiot.
Who fucking told you that?
So what do we have next? We had
the polyglyphs, which then
polyglyphs. Robin is the only one that can read them. Like Cobra was surprised too, because no one was able to read them and shit. And he's like, what the fuck? And now the information about Pluto is in there. It's also forbidden to like read the poneglyphs. Like it's illegal basically because of but according to the world government, it's because there's information of the the ancient weapons in them, and they aren't really fond of that. They don't really want you to know about the ancient weapons because they don't want to have those things be revived in current day.
Mm-hmm.
Robin is looking for the Rio poneglyph, the true poneglyph, the one that shows all the history. Because there's like a century that's of lost history. A century we don't know anything about. We call it the Void Century. And you're not allowed to research this history according to the government because of these ancient weapons.
Mm-hmm, sure.
But Robin as an archaeologist really wants to know the true history. She is determined to get it, but this is her final lead, and it's a dead lead. She didn't find it, so doesn't really know what to do. She decided to lie about there only being history and not being any ancient weapons. Crocodile knew it was a lie, but he wasn't disappointed because he never trusted her anyway. he never trusts anyone anyway, so he never feels betrayed.
I guess he trusted somehow Mr. One because he joins him back after the Marineford arc. So
hey, did Mr. One betray him though? Anyway, so we have Crocodile decides to try to murder Robin. Robin tries to use water on Crocodile, but she missed and she got stabbed. Then Luffy finally came in and punches Crocodile. It's like, yes, I'm using my fucking blood to beat you up. How metal is that?
I'm using blood bending. Yeah. Continue.
Oh man, and that fight was pretty. That fight was pretty cool. It's not my It's not my favorite fight, but the ending to that fight is so fucking good. And I like the. What's also good about this fight, with like many other One Piece fights, it's all about the ideology of the two characters, right? Like Luffy wants to help someone else because he wants to help that person and doesn't want that person to die. Crocodile's kind of like, well, why are you like helping others? Why are you friends with others? Why do you trust others? You should just be on your own. Because Crocodile had the same was kind of like Luffy when he was younger too, and he trusted people too. But I guess at some point he got betrayed. He doesn't trust anyone ever, and that's understand why you would go out of your way to help someone. Even if you disagree with someone, like Luffy agrees with Crocodile that Vivi's too naive and that's trying to save everyone in the war, right?
Yeah,
But Luffy doesn't want Vivi to die. That's
Crocodile.
why he's helping her. He doesn't care. He doesn't really give a fuck about like.
You want to know who betrayed Crocodile?
Who?
It was Ivankov changed his gender to man. That was the betrayal.
Oh my fucking god! The theories.
Continue.
And my favorite theory is that Crocodile's Luffy's mom. It's like, what the fuck?
What the
Who comes up with that shit? Anyway, we have this final fight where it's like when Luffy like destroys his fucking poisonous like hook. Luffy is like hit by the poison, but he like keeps going because he has the willpower. He will not lose until he will not like stop until he has won. And then you have to find a person like, who the hell do you think you are? I'm the man who will surpass you, and then he kicks him into the sky high. After the whole Gomino storm moment where he like uses his attack and like fucking punches Crocodile through layers and layers of bedrock into the sky, destroying multiple buildings above ground too.
And is that somehow stops the fucking?
And then the fucking music as well.
Yeah, that was great.
And it wasn't enough to stop. Like the soldiers and the rebels were all tired, and Kosa also tried to stop the rebellion, but he got shot by Baroque workers who were actually hidden in the sides of the soldiers and the rebels. They were pretending to be soldiers and rebels, and they were trying to make things worse. So Kosa got shot, which sparked the fight the war even more. And even after they were practically unconscious, they kept fighting. They kind of basically just lost their mind. And Vivi screamed, "Please stop the fighting!" Or in the sensitive version, "Please stop the fucking! Please stop the fighting!" Constantly screaming. And then we get the rain. It finally rains. This whole thing that the story is about is the rain, and it finally happens. Everyone gets quiet. And finally they listen to Vivi. They see that Crocodile was the one behind everything. And everything just kind of gets explained.
The rain ruined the orgy.
The rain ruined fuck you, Rennis. Also, you're forgetting to say nya at the end of your sentences, just saying.
Now I'm trying to keep this down so that you don't go mad, so.
You didn't say it a single time though, you have to say it more often.
I know, but I'm trying to keep it down so you don't get mad. That's the whole because I know you're gonna get mad with it.
No, it's fine. I'm just joking, right? I'm just going along with the.
Just want to make sure because this.
Like I don't actually get angry,
All right then.
For me, it's just funny.
All right then, yeah. Yeah.
I regret this already.
Let's continue.
Anyway. Man, that ending, it was all really good, and then we get to the aftermath. Like Luffy's bounty gets raised to 100 million, so gets a bounty of 60 million. Smoker gets promoted. So Smoker tries to report of Crocodile's done and such. And basically says that Luffy defeated Crocodile, but the high ups like, "Oh, good job for defeating Crocodile, Smoker." And it wasn't me, it was Luffy. We're gonna promote you for defeating Smoker. And you have one of Smoker's marine friends or something, like Hina was her name, who ate the cage food. She was another. What rank was she? Captain?
I don't remember.
Anyway, Smoker gets promoted no matter what he wants. Because they want to cover this whole thing up. They don't want the people to know that Luffy defeated Crocodile, right?
Yeah.
And what I find weird though is that why not just make Luffy a cheaper guy? They never tried to give Luffy a recommendation or so to the cheaper guy. I'm like, well, why not?
No, we can't have another D be the super chest. It's a
Ah,
dog.
no, wait, no, they had LOL later though. I guess LOL gave them a present. That's fine. Anyway, man, then we get to like the aftermath. You know, it's like Luffy just woke up and it's like you were asleep for 3 days. I missed 15 meals.
Mass, man.
And then like you have all the food next to him, and Luffy like eats all of it in one bite.
Just have to ask. He said 15 for 3 days, right? Though this man
Yeah.
actually eats 5 times a day. Ah,
Yes. Why do you think they don't
what
have any money, Anders?
what a monster.
So you know we
On?
have the party and everything. You know, first you have like all the soldiers and like the starts being like very stiff about while Luffy and the rest are eating chaotically. Beef was just laughing, and at some point they joined in too, and they all just fucking like left together. But yeah, and then like they were in the bed together. The king was together with the bed with the rest of them, with the pirates, and you have like Vivi and Nami in the other side of the bed. And also
And the
decided
king.
to peek, and all decided to peek on them. Besides, who was that didn't peek?
I think I know it probably was Zoro. No,
Yeah.
probably Zoro,
Oh.
the father.
They all peeked, partially for the sake of a joke, because I don't think Luffy really cares. He's just like, alright, boys, let's do it. But what's weird is that Cobra also peeked, I think. Well, Vivi was in there.
I think he averted his eyes mainly to Nami, but who knows?
Oh man, I didn't know this was Alabama. Actually, it's called Alabama. Oh my god.
Well, you know, it's like it was designed by the king himself, I think, because why else would they have a peak spot?
And I was like, alright, this one time, happy this sponge, and everyone dies of a blood nose. Well, man, this whole ending portion was funny as fuck, and then we get the final decision of whether Vivi wants to join or not, and we see that like little ending. Also, Bon Clay is still around, and he helps the Straw Hats escape because you know he still believes in their friendship. You know, he wants to be their friends, but also he kind of wants to escape himself.
But he decided to sacrifice himself by, you know, distracting the Navi was going after them.
Means yeah, like the Hina was after them. Like Hina, I think she was captain. She was after the Straw Hats, and Bon Clay decided to like together with his crew like pretend to be the Straw Hats and like on the ship, and then they tricked Hina and let the Straw Hats escape. While the Straw Hats were escaping, there's a Vivi show appearing like near them, right? Because she was about also she had to give like a speech to the whole country with like telecoms everywhere, where she just like speaks through, like talks about gives her speech and such. But she then asked through that, "Will you still be my friend?" And they couldn't answer like with voice, or else the Marines would know that like, hey, the Princess Vivi is with the Straw Hat pirates. That's illegal. So they turned their back, they took off the bandages and showed their marks. That yes, we are friends, no matter what. Man, that was such a cool moment. The whole story, it was such a great story. And we're not even like at the bigger arcs next. Come next.
It only gets bigger. It only gets bigger, man.
It gets bigger, it gets more complicated. You know, especially, you know, I found recently with Wano and like Whole Cake Island arc and Dressrosa. And honestly, Punkazar too. It's been constantly like crazy story shit. Like, it's like, the arcs before that had crazy stories, but also were like more, as I say, centralized to that arc, and they were a lot more about like 1v1 fights. But the other arcs are all about crazy shit happening, crazy revelations everywhere.
Well, we're nearing the end, Badu.
We actually, if you think about it, we really are, you know?
It's like, man, what did we do? We like found like the three big we found two of the big like polyglyphs, right? The red ones.
Yeah.
One of the Whole Cake Island, one in Zoo.
One of them is of course in on Wano.
Yes, and the last one is probably where Shanks is at, or Blackbeard, whoever.
I would say Blackbeard actually.
Yeah, so you know we need to like find at least two more, and so we're almost there, man.
No, yeah, and there's probably also, I guess, you also have like you know, hints of like a certain group of people like being there. We have like a certain, the two main villain might be the guy that sits on the empty throne, but that's all stuff for the future.
Alright, and there's the world government shenanigans going on. Man, there's so many things going on, man.
But man, the One Piece manga is really great. Oda's art is also really good, and it also improved a lot in the time. But the One Piece art, like the manga art, can be very detailed. Like especially later on, like it can be as detailed as a Berserk chapter, as a Berserk page sometimes, without you know, yeah.
So many things.
But I think what Oda does as well sometimes is just like how here you have a bunch of original characters that do not matter at all. They're just random mooks, but they have all of original designs. Or then Oda just goes and flexes, goes, okay, so I'm gonna make like in this weekly shonen manga, I'm just gonna like make 10 chapters of like high quality big ass fucking panel arts.
How about those points where people ask them, alright, so what are the names of these 3 characters, and he just makes them up on the spot?
All of the Oda just never forgets either. Like when you tell him about like a certain background, a certain character he's put in the background like 500 chapters ago, he will know. He won't exactly know what chapter or what like page it was, but he will know what like the character was he made in the background. He won't forget the details of his own world and characters. You know, you can tell with One Piece, Oda loves his world. Oda loves his adventure that he is making here. And with that care, it just never, to me, it never gets to a point where it's like, oh yes, the quality has certainly dropped, with the manga at least. The quality has dropped. Yeah, the person doesn't really care too much anymore. So they're only doing it because it's popular now. I don't feel that with Oda. I feel Oda, like, the reason why One Piece is long is because Oda keeps thinking of new ideas and, like, different ways to, like, expand the story that makes sense.
And also, and if he finds out that people predicting things, he tries to make them still make sense by changing what's the outcome.
Right?
It's still making sense and good.
But you know what? Like, when people talk about One Piece, why they don't want to watch it, it often is the length. And I think,
That's fair.
No. I actually think the length is what makes it work, though.
You're right.
It's because it's long that I'm always amazed with every like new revelation that makes sense. I'm always surprised to see new things. I'm always surprised to see a new part of the adventure. And it's a very like the show is all about how hard it is to like achieve your dreams and such, and how much you have to work for it. And it's not gonna be done overnight. They're gonna have to spend a lot of time, and that's basically what One Piece is about.
Well, it's like if you ask me about it, I can actually compare like in terms of One Piece length, not in its quality, right? The quality is a different story because a lot of some shows take too fucking long and get worse in quality over time, right?
So I feel that shows like the person that's making those shows then gets burnt out of it,
Yeah. One of the few examples is like that. What was pretty recent was like Game of Thrones, for example.
To be fair,
Went
though,
on.
we're talking about like a person who is like a single writer, and then like a series that gets like multiple writers every season or so.
But besides that, right? Because besides like the difference in writers and all that, right? Game of Thrones still had 8 seasons, still was long. Even if it wasn't as long as One Piece, people still look at it as a fucking long show, right?
I think Bleach is a more better comparison, to be honest. Especially
I
the
think,
manga.
but what I want to mean with this is right because I think there were still a lot of people that would say, yeah, I don't think I'm going to watch Game of Thrones because of how long it is and all that. And I think it's just fair, right? So not everybody.
I disagree. It depends on the show. It depends on the show. I think the length is never the bad part because you can stop at any time,
But that's the thing. It's like I'm saying it's a bad thing. If you say I don't want to watch it because of the length, it's fine. As long as he doesn't say, yeah, it's bad because it's long, then I have a problem with it.
No, I still have a problem with that because it's like I feel it's a bit close-minded, like I was back then. I think like you don't have to like watch all of it immediately, obviously.
Of course not, but that's not.
I don't think you should shy away from something just because it's long. If it's long, then you just stop when you feel like it.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. It's like I don't think it's a wrong idea of telling people watch it. It's a good show even if it's long.
And because what I'm talking about is the quality that's about the length. Like people don't want to watch it because of how long it is, and I think a lot of people are worried that it will just kind of drag on forever. But that's not how it is. It never felt like One Piece is long because it's popular, so they have to keep going.
Yeah,
Sorry.
No, that's why I would always say no. You're fucking wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. And you have to disprove when they say something that's stupid. You just have to disprove it. Basically, that's how I would say it.
It's not like other shows that like went on for a long time because it's popular and the writer kind of doesn't really know what to do anymore, or makes things up on the spot. Nah, it doesn't feel like that. Oh, there's an ending in sight, and everything else that gets added is more him going, I think I can expand it this way.
Yeah.
Sometimes he has to be stopped by the editors, and then it will appear in the manga in the anime as filler. He has to be stopped. It's like, I want to add this to the story. No, Oda, there's already too much to the story. You have to be stopped.
Why not?
But I
I'm
wanna.
already adding a lot of detail into it. What's wrong with it?
Listen, Oda, we're all gonna die before we see the ending of One Piece. Fair enough.
I doubt it.
And they say that, but already some voice actors have already died, you know?
God damn it, you're right.
Heck,
Well,
plenty of the voice actors are pretty old.
well, in any case, I hope the ships goes on until it gets a good ending,
A
right?
perfect ending, right?
It's like hope that Oda will stay healthy for this fucking show, because this is
Mm-hmm.
fucking baby better ends it fucking
Yeah, I
perfect.
mean, he worked so hard that he went to the hospital like twice.
Yeah, you know,
And
if
even in the
he's
hospital, he was working and thinking about what to do with One Piece.
it's like that. I really hope that man is gonna get like the fucking is gonna get an ending that he's proud of. Not
Right?
not 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 an ending that the viewers like because he spent so much. Better he be proud of his fucking work
Right?
because this was his fucking baby.
But what I was saying is that I think you should try out One Piece.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, for anybody
I
really.
think, yeah. Like, at least watch it until the Baratti arc or the Arlong Park arc, because, you know, I think those arcs are where truly where things kicked off. And it's
And
not,
all
it doesn't
and
take too
he
much time either to get to those arcs, so it's not like,
yeah.
you know, you have to wait, you have to watch. Now, trust me, it gets good at episode 300. It's not, like, no One Piece fan actually
No,
says that. It's always Baratti or Arlong Park. Or, you know, it's good from the beginning, it just gets better.
I think there's something I could say without doubt is I had one friend who was basically like who was a colleague at my old workplace
Mm-hmm.
who was basically a normie, right? But he watched all of One Piece, all
Wow.
of it. He was completely hooked to it once he started watching.
Right?
And so I can say this, right? It's like if you're intimidated by its length and beat, but don't come with bullshit arguments like yeah, it's just dragging on to be
Well,
for
if
the
you're
sake
doing
of it.
about length, I just say, you know, don't look at the length, look at the length of each arc and just watch those arcs. Arc by
Just
arc.
try,
Take like a
in
break
any
between
case,
every arc, you know?
yeah, exactly. Just try it out. And if it's not for you, then it's not for you.
Yeah, at
Simple
the
as
end of the
that.
day.
Just try it. Nobody says you have to watch all of it.
Now, if you are hooked, then you will watch all of it by yourself. But then at that point, you know, you're doing it out of your own free will, you know?
Yes. So yeah, there's no obligation to watch it. Just try it out. Is all we have to say for the
Mm.
non-fans.
Like,
And all
please.
the haters, just shut the fuck up.
Oh, hey, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. You have to gay.
Yeah. Though I wouldn't mind having an argument with the haters to see what their fucking arguments are. Always fun to have some discussions, right?
I
Because otherwise we would
guess.
be just completely deaf to all of their ears, right?
I guess. Well, anyway, that's enough for this part. So I guess it's gonna be part one of the retrospective. Yeah.
Uh,
Yes,
I like it
well,
though. I don't mind
man,
it.
I remember I was thinking of like making a review video, like one review video for like for anime that I like, you know. And I was thinking, man, if I'm gonna make a review of One Piece, it's gonna be like 2 hours long.
Do it.
This is like writing the script for it and everything. Like it's gonna be an essay.
Do it.
And that's fair. I think, if I were to make videos, I like to try to keep it short, so you know you don't have to be bored by the amount of time spent on the video. But with One Piece, man, I'm gonna be on for talking for 2 hours in that review.
It's like put your TDLR at the beginning and then you be critical about the rest of it. Just tell them, just this is the TDLR, and then that's it. Enjoy the show.
For the show. Anyway, in the next part, we will talk about Jaya arc until I want to say Marineford, maybe.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, if we get enough time for that. Um, um, when is this over? It's already hold on. Alright, let's spend some 3 more minutes together.
3 more minutes with this fucking. Alright, then whatever.
And we need to beat
No.
Shanks, Sanders.
Yeah, if it beats Shanks, we become the true Pirate King, I guess.
So let's talk about some of our like favorite characters that appeared in this like duration of what we talked about.
Vivi. I think I can start right off to get the Vivi.
I like how Vivi is still considered like a crew member in like the official YouTube page and such like that. She's still with the rest of the characters. It's great.
It's like, you know, she had to go because of her duty, but I'm more than happy for her. It's like she's best girl, one of the best girls.
I really like Robin though. Like Robin is such a Robin is my favorite. Robin is best girl in my opinion.
Then there was, you know, besides like the from the crew, I think Sanji was always on my boat. I just like his character overall.
Sanji. Yeah, Zoro and Luffy are some of my favorites as well. Usopp has become one of my favorite
Same.
characters every time I rewatch One Piece. I think, wow, this person, yeah, well, Usopp is interesting because he's so different from the rest. Like he's terrified as fuck. He really is. But besides that, he still makes it at the end. He still puts it to the side when it needs to be done and gets shit
Yeah.
done.
Usopp is my boy.
Usopp is my
Is
boy.
our boy. Everybody's boy.
He's our
Best
boy.
Usopp is our boy.
Usopp is our boy. Usopp is our boy. I mean, yeah, he's our god.
Yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait to do that. We'll get to that. Smoker is a great character too. I really like. To me, he feels different from because most Marines are kind of dickish, or at least the captains and like the leaders and stuff. But he's different, and that's what makes him interesting.
What was his fucking name? Mr. Bonclay. Oh, I love that dude.
Bonclay is a great character too. I like him too.
It's like I loved him in like fucking Alabasta, and then he comes fucking back as like another star. God,
oh man, yeah. Again, he gets star moments every time he shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Dice Shanks, Jesus Christ.
Then
Zoro's badass, Luffy is fun,
Let's see, who else did we have in the introduction scene?
I mean, Don Krieg, nah. Arlong is the start of an interesting like story, I guess, but it's for later on. He's just basically foreshadowing. Yes, Arlong is a fine villain, really.
Yeah, I love Wolf Moretti.
What I like about Arlong, though, is that he's a villain, but he actually does care about his own crew. That's different from other villains. Like, he actually really cares about his crewmates, and actually gets angry when they get defeated.
Funny enough, I think his whole story gets a bit more expanded too when we get in the future too. That's great.
That's the whole point.
Love this.
And Chopper, of course, is a fun, adorable little dummy.
Probably my favorite backstory of all of them. Just fucking beautifully done.
One of my most favorite backstories, and Mr. Tree I didn't like at first, but then he goes. But a lot of characters that you don't like at first become likable later. Like Mr. Tree became likable until Down. I felt.
Buggy was always likable for me.
Yeah. Buggy's kind of like a joke character at this point, but yeah, it was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that concludes our little talk. We will talk more about One Piece another time. I don't know when. What are we gonna do on Friday? We're gonna play Final Fantasy 14. Yeah. I mean, we can also do part 2 on Friday if you want.
No, whatever floats your boat, man. I'll hear it from you when the day.
I hate it when both of us are like, whatever floats your boat. It's like, well, whose boat are we gonna float on then?
I don't want to play 14 though, so I guess we'll do 14 then, and then maybe another time we'll continue with this. That's
fine. Let's do that. And then on Saturday we will do Kingdom Hearts level 1 at. Did I say 6 p.m? I should have said 7 p.m. It's just gonna be like 3-hour stream. 7 a.m. I mean, sorry, 7 a.m. Of course, the American time.
Yeah.
On 7 a.m. we will play a 1P. No, we will play Kingdom Hearts 1 level 1. I'll see you guys next time.